I do.
Covino and Rich.
Are you ready? Honestly, how do I deal with you every day?
Get ready.
Turn on down on the radio.
Whoa! Yeah!
Holy mother nugget! And holy mother meatball!
I'm the smartest man alive! You're so ridiculous.
What?
You're such a fool. Get out of here.
Oh, I'm a disc jockey.
What's a disc jockey?
Here we go. Covino and Rich.
Let's go!
Woo! All right. Ready to do this? Another show. Another day. Rich Davis, Steve Covino, and you guys. Happy Martin Luther King Day. And as I ask you every year, did you scrub yourself this morning with your Martin Luther King?
Not my Martin Luther King, but I did bust out a brand new roof this weekend.
Look at that.
And my
I know
sister
it.
Dawn sent. What's
I
up?
know it. I knew it.
All right, how do you like the new intro, by the way?
It's good. I like it. I like it. Entertainment, life, stories. We got a bunch to get through today. It's Monday, January 17th, Martin Luther King Day. And today is also a very special day, and I'll explain. But first, let's rock out. Let's go to it. Get over here, rock boy. If you're not going to hit any sound effects, then get over here. Today,
Hokey pokey.
today would have been Betty White's 100th birthday.
Really?
Yeah,
We're gonna
today's the
celebrate.
day that woulda, coulda, shoulda
You know
been.
what? Know what that means? More reason for me to have a nice cupcake when I get home. Jordan made cupcakes. Now I could justify eating them. It's for
Well,
Betty White.
It's not only Betty White's birthday.
Betty White.
It's not only Betty White's birthday. Today's one of those days where, there's 365 days a year. Obviously.
No way.
366 some years.
We landed on the moon?
And some days, it's a bigger celebrity birthday day than others. You know, when you look that shit up in the morning.
Yeah.
Today.
You looked that shit up. I don't give a diddly fuck about that.
You don't look that up?
Hell the fuck no.
What do you look up then?
Not that shit.
No, for like your Sirius XM stuff. What do you look up?
Horoscope.
Horoscopes?
No, well, not birthdays. I'm not giving fucking shout outs like that. I go to Twitter and shout out people. I don't shout out birthdays. I don't live that pop culture life of like, today is,
National fucking Banana Boat Day.
Yeah, I mean, it's Martin Luther King Day. I know
Well, then,
that. I'm shouting that out because I'm on Turbo early today on SXM.
Wouldn't it be nice if it was National Banana Boat Day? Get on the boat. Banana boat. Well, today is Betty White's 100th. Muhammad Ali would have been 80 today.
Wow, I should have worn an Ali t-shirt. But I did wear some super rare shop, which celebrates Muhammad Ali. So I'm kind of there.
So Muhammad Ali would have been 80. Betty White would have been 100. Couple big birthdays.
I'm going to have to post some Ali shit when I get home.
Steve Harvey, 65.
Fun fact, I love Judge Steve Harvey. I don't think that's on tonight because The Bachelor's not on tonight because we got football. So maybe that's why. But fun fact, we do broadcast out of what they call, I don't know if it's officially called, but the Steve Harvey Studios in Sherman Oaks, California.
Yeah, what used to be, I guess you would say, an important facility became a shell of what it was, but the signs are still there.
But I feel like we manifested it. At least I feel that way because I used to walk past the studio all the time and look inside the window and say to myself, what's going on in there? The Steve Harvey Studio?
Well, nothing. The answer?
And then I would look inside and I'd
Nothing.
see Fox Sports and I'd be like, what's going on in there?
What's happening there?
And now we broadcast there every Sunday night. And if you missed our Fox Sports Radio, Fox Football Sunday Fun Day last night, it's on foxsportsradio.com. We posted the link everywhere. But we now broadcast in what was called the Steve Harvey Studios.
Oh, bigger than Steve Harvey. That used to be one of Casey Kasem's places to go.
Wow. Isn't that cool? Look at that. Look at us.
But it's
Look at us.
It's a shell, though. It's I think everyone could relate in whatever their industry is. There was a place that used to be like the hot spot or like maybe a headquarters or like some type of outlet office. This was where Rick Dees or Seacrest or Casey Kasem would do their countdowns.
Rick
It was where
Dees.
Steve Harvey did a show. It was where I think at one
But
point
his name's outside, like on the marquee
Yeah, so is
of the
Seacrest.
building. Is it really?
It says Fox Sports Radio, Steve Harvey, Ryan Seacrest.
I don't notice
and
the Seacrest.
none of those people.
I noticed Harvey.
None of those people work there.
None of them.
None of them work.
But we do.
Yeah.
We do. And we're happy to be here Monday, Patreon, Martin Luther King Day, sports, entertainment, life, Covino and Rich, everything at Covino and Rich. We're going to be a spotless show today, but I do say props to the new intro. Rich, I had to be like, Rich, look up. He didn't even notice it. It was like a little surprise. But I know Spot put some hard work into that. It looked pretty cool. We appreciate the feedback. What's up to Rachel and Wes and Lynn and Rolando and Terry? Thank you guys for being here.
Now, Steve Harvey, 65. Jim Carrey, 60. Can't believe Jim Carrey is 60.
Alrighty then.
That's a weird one to
Really?
sort of think of, right? I mean, I get it. Our
Time's
childhood,
flying, man.
Our childhood.
It makes sense. If I'm approaching my 50s, which I'm not, slow down, but I'm closer to 50 than 40, then yeah, Jim Carrey's about 60.
That's
I know
crazy.
it sucks, but it sort of makes sense.
Jim Carrey, 60. Zoe Deschanel, 42. Michelle Obama, 58.
There's a lot of birthdays today.
That's why I brought it up, because I
Today?
looked and I'm like, fuck, there's a lot of people.
Yeah, maybe I should
Michelle
start looking
Obama,
up all these birthdays.
58. And to add them to the list, you might say, why would you even do that? Influencer and boxer Jake Paul is 25 today.
Jake Paul's birthday is the same day as Ali's birthday?
Yeah.
Wow, it's a
Jake
sign.
Paul, 25 years old.
You know that fool made $40 million in boxing alone last year.
He made more money. He's going to end up making more money in the next year or so than Ali made his whole life boxing, which is a shame.
The MVB, most valuable boxer. But hey, think and say what you want. The kid knows how to promote a fight. You know, he's given some people what could be their biggest payday ever. So anyway, thank you guys. Andrew Hart, what's up? Is Steve Harvey that legendary to already have a studio named after him? Are you serious? The king of comedy? You realize that this dude hosts everything under the moon? Who hosts more shit than Steve Harvey? The one thing I remember from interviewing Steve Harvey was,
Multiple streams of income, young man.
we quote it all the time. Yeah. It's true. And he walks the walk. He told me and Rich in like a serious moment, here's what you guys need to do. Multiple streams of income. Remember this. And we're like, yes, Steve Harvey, absolutely. And who has more multiple streams of income than that guy?
Man.
The dude's a radio guy at heart, comedian, host. He hosts every pageant under the sun.
Remember he got it wrong that one year?
Yeah. I mean, that might have been a whole sort of attention grab, though.
Who knows? Now, Steve Harvey.
Judge Steve Harvey.
While he did say to us,
Family Feud Steve Harvey.
real moment, get over here, young cats.
He called you Young Buck because he thought you were like a young Joe Buck. That's the way.
It's out of here.
He's like, you got a head like Joe Buck. Come here, Young Buck.
I couldn't stop looking at his mustache.
I thought it was Mr. Potato Head.
It's like, what is going on
I
here?
thought Mr. Potato Head came to life. But Andrew, you serious? Who's more successful than Steve Harvey?
I mean, yeah, exactly.
Out of your mind. The guy has his own studio, like facility in Chicago, I think. At his home.
Steve Harvey is up there with the caliber of like the Dick Clarks and the Seacrests and the
He's up there, man.
I don't even know who else you put on that list.
It's almost unfair. It's like, yo, give Rodney a chance. Give someone else a chance to host some shit.
Who else does a ton of shit to that level?
Well, not to that level, but
Mario
Lopez.
Lopez?
I was gonna say Mario Lopez does a ton of shit. Like a ton of shit. The dude's endorsing fitness products. He has his own like spices now or some shit. Like I don't know what he's always endorsing something, putting his face on some shit, hosting something. But Steve Harvey's definitely one of those guys that you got to recognize as a true talent, a true businessman for sure.
Yeah. Alex Berman, who I think is a good fella. I disagree with him 1,000,000,000%.
What?
He goes, multiple streams of income is so dumb. Just get paid appropriately. Disagree because
So
what
that
happens?
job runs out.
Well, yeah, what happens is you get paid appropriately from one place. What happens if that goes away, Alex Berman? Then you're scrounging around for a new gig. I think
at least you have something else on the side.
Yeah, pick a round number. Let's just say it's $500,000. Do you rather make $500,000 doing a bunch of shit at one place, or would you rather make $500,000 doing 4 jobs making $125 at each job.
I would say spread out because that one job's
Yeah.
not guaranteed.
If you got 2 gigs and you're making $50,000 at one and $50,000 at the other, God forbid one goes away, you're still on your feet.
Kevin Hart getting props. Jason Brown says, but I don't think Kevin Hart hosts TV shows. No, but Kevin Hart has his own production company. Heartbeat, I believe it's called.
Yeah,
Heartbeat
you know
Productions.
what? Heartbeat and Andy Cohen's another one. So Kevin Hart and Andy Cohen belong
still
in
think
that category.
Steve Harvey is leaps and bounds above. Heartbeat Productions, though, is a big deal. However, shout out to Jason Brown, too. Renewed his vows over the weekend. So glad to see the love's alive. He and his beautiful bride again
That's a
went
nice
to
thing.
Vegas, renewed their vows.
That's a nice thing to do.
A James Brown impersonator was there, and he said, "Hit me on the good foot." And
Settle down now.
and it looked like a good time. Wish we could have been there, but wishing you guys the best and a happy anniversary and all that good stuff. Congratulations. What's up, Renee?
But
What's up, Buzz?
when it comes to renewing your vows, I changed my mind on it.
I never knew you had such a strong stance.
Oh yeah, like a Lenny Dykstra stance, like I'm
Okay.
like
So what's the big change?
way back,
Tell
like
me,
a Don Mattingly.
what's the change?
My change is that I used to say, "I feel good." The extended scene of James Brown in the Rocky IV recut was like doubly long. Like it was, I feel like they looped the song twice.
That shit was so dope.
It was great though. Apollo more dancing with James Brown. If you never saw the Rocky IV recut, I digress. I changed my mind on renewing vows. I used to think, how stupid. What a waste of time. Money. You're already married. Blah, 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 blah. And then I said, you know what? Marriage ain't easy.
Simping ain't easy.
Family, kids, work, jobs, life, money, hassles, huffs, fucking molding, leaky storage units, school, payments. You add up life and you say, yo, if you make it 10, 20, 30 years, marriage, more, fucking celebrate it and enjoy. Why would you not? Like, I used to think, oh, how lame, because Sarah would be like, we should renew our vows one day. And I was like, nah.
How about no?
I don't think you should do it like for 4 years or
no.
9 years. But honestly, if after 10 or 20 years or 25, if like a benchmark anniversary, if you said, hey, a few close family members or friends, we're going to take a little trip, renew our vows, and have a little celebration, a little party. Why would anyone say no to that? That is a fucking beautiful idea. So
Hey,
Jason
we're still
Brown,
in love.
congratulations.
And
Yeah, if you're still in love.
willing to do that shit, then more power to you. So
Honestly.
and
Think
I'll
of
tell you
it.
what, Jason Brown looked happier. He looked happier than James Brown being there. He was so happy. So
Can I be honest with you?
it was all in their smiles.
I saw
Somebody
that.
said it,
I saw
and
that,
I agreed.
I saw that picture of them at first.
Yeah.
And I'm not, this is where my mind went. I didn't read the caption. Yeah. I'm like, oh, is that like Jason Brown's uncle? Who the fuck is that guy? And then I'm like, oh, it's a James Brown impersonator.
No,
I'm
it's
like,
Jason Brown's Uncle Junebug.
I'm like, Uncle Junebug got a fucking Jerry curl. I was like, who is that with Jason Brown? His fucking uncle needs a hair
That was
change.
his Uncle Honeybee. Oh, man. That shit was funny. It was a James Brown impersonator at Jason Brown's renewing of his vows.
I saw that.
And he said, I bet you my James Brown impersonator was better than your Elvis impersonator. And I'm like, I bet you're probably right. So anyway, congratulations, guys. Hope you had a nice weekend. Hope you had a Tom Brady sort of weekend, a Pat Mahomes sort of weekend,
Yes, sir.
Cincinnati Bengals sort of weekend,
And
a
by the way,
victorious weekend, a Rich Davis, let's go 49ers kind of weekend.
that's what I'm saying.
There
And
you go.
I agree with, I believe, Lynn, or who was it, Lisa, who said, renewing your vows is sort of like a sweet way of saying, hey, I still choose you. I used to think it was lame, but now, as we all go through life, the changes, like I said, the hassles, the hoffs, the kids, the responsibilities, I think renewing vows, in me, went from like an eye-rolling thing to like a very sweet thing when you realize how many relationships don't work out, right?
Yeah, I don't know why you had such a strong stance
Because
against
I thought it was like just unnecessary. Like, renew your vows, you're married. Wah. But now I'm like, you know what? It's not easy. So if you're together and still love each other 10, 20 years into it, fucking celebrate that shit.
Celebrate, celebrate. Is it dance to the music? Is that the lyric?
Celebrate.
Is that the lyric? I don't know. Anyway, Spot's not here because he's in Joshua Tree.
Hope his back's okay.
Maintaining his relationship. I believe the story was his wife really wanted to get away, and he's like, I want to deliver. He wants to curl the toes. He wanted to make her happy. So we had a 3-day weekend. It's Martin Luther King Day, and I believe he left on Friday. So he's been there. And, man, the pictures he takes really paints a picture. He takes some beautiful pictures. I don't know if you've seen him at Spot Center. Look him up. It's like he's like I can't even think of a famous photographer, but he's an artiste. He's got the eye of the Neebe.
Let me look.
Eye of the Neebe.
Let me look at what the guy posted.
Pictures of him looking like glorious, really.
Yeah, I can never do that. I don't think
he took a picture of his breakfast that looked glorious. Either way, he's at Joshua Tree making his way back. He's probably back already. I don't know where he's at, but he'll be back tomorrow. So hope you enjoyed your weekend and hope you enjoy your football, your Yellow Jackets finales, whatever the hell you did. Your Target runs, your Costco runs.
Yellow Jackets.
Time with your friends and family, and we get into it. Let the Wild Rumpus start, man.
That's
we got
the
lots
show.
to get to.
That's the show. Yellow Jackets.
I'm digging it. I'm like episode 3.
Finale was last night.
Digging it.
That's what sucks when you get into a show and you're in real time and there's no real timing as to when it's coming back. They renewed it for season 2 on Showtime, but that could mean like, fuck, I got into it. I liked it. Now I got to wait like a year. Game of Thrones.
Showtime should kiss Yellow Jackets' ass because you know how many people were about to cancel after Dexter?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, maybe I got to hold on to it now.
Yellow Jackets is solid. So.
I got to finish Yellow Jackets first.
I'm just mad that, like I said, it leaves you in a cool place, and you're like, yeah, but wait, they renewed it for season 2, which means I haven't even started filming season 2 yet, which means it's not going to be like Game of Thrones, but there were times where Game of Thrones, they took like 2-year breaks.
Well, I mean, because that was like an epic sort of show with a high production value.
Hopefully they could get Yellow Jackets done quicker.
I mean, it takes Cobra Kai a year. You're not going to get seasons 5 for another year.
I know.
So it does make sense that it took that long for Game of Thrones. But thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed your shows. Let's start where we left off.
Hold on. As far as other shows you're watching, are you? I feel like there's a couple shows I want to at least give a chance. That Peacemaker, John Cena.
Give Rodney a chance.
The John Cena Peacemaker
I'm
one?
going to watch that. I'll check that out.
People say that looks good.
Yeah, I like John Cena, so even though he looks like Ernest P. Worrell. But then again, I like Ernest P. Worrell.
Yeah.
So
hey, Vern.
Now I feel like I like John Cena even more now because he's like a ripped Ernest P. Worrell. So everyone's raving about that show. I will check it out, see what happens.
Yellow Jackets is now, season 1's done.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And I don't know if there's any other. Oh, How I Met Your Father starts Wednesday.
Hillary Duff
and her stuff. Hillary Duffy and her stuffy.
Hillary Stuff.
So How I Met Your Father comes on TV, and trying to think if there's anything else.
No,
people into 1883.
It's like that butthole time of the year. We just passed the taint of the holiday season in between Christmas and New Year's. Now we're like right at the butthole because there's nothing aside from football.
I said that yesterday.
Yeah,
I said
there's really nothing going on.
If not for playoff football and every week being excited,
and there's no Bachelor tonight.
Come on, Joe Millionaire's on. I watched one of those episodes. Sarah was watching Joe Millionaire.
You gotta explain that Joe Millionaire's back.
Joe Millionaire's back.
That's what you need to say first.
Joe Millionaire's back, and I'm curious what you think of this concept.
Joe Millionaire was one of the OGs. Remember that show?
Yes, of course.
Back in the early days of Covino and Rich.
But here's the deal. Social media and social justice and being kind to others and, not being dicks. Like, how we became better people, I guess, over the last 20 years. People tried at least.
Have we, though?
Have we?
I think we suck more than ever. To the highest regard.
By the way, I watched... I'm all over the place, but I watched
You think, bro?
I watched a long-ass speech that Donald Trump gave the other day. I just want you to watch it on your own time and then tell me privately what you thought.
Alec Baldwin is a bad man. Bad man.
Yo, he's like doubling down on everything. I just want you to watch it because he's like, the election was stolen. If you ask me, bullshit. Like he's going off and he's like, this country is terrible. He was in Arizona and he's like, all right, media, show the cameras. There's like how many people are here. It might be the biggest crowd ever because the Make America Great Again movement is the greatest movement in American history. Like I want you to just watch it and also tell me.
I saw him where he had is this where he had his stupid hat on
He
again?
had a hat on, the font was bigger.
It was like the Covino Rich font.
Whoa. But I want you to watch it because
I saw that.
There's something to be said about his chances, I think. So I don't even want to get into it, but
I'll write it down.
I feel like
you'll forget.
Yeah, so Donald Trump. But Joe Millionaire, over the last 20 years, have we become a better people? Are we kinder? Are we nicer? Are we just a bunch of putas? Who knows? But back in the day,
at all.
the theory of Joe Millionaire back in the day was it was a dude that lived under the 101 in a tent, scaring Covino and his daughter.
Hobo Williams.
They took Hobo Williams,
And you know you love it.
and they gave him a fucking haircut,
And you know you love it.
a personal trainer, and a sweet suit. And they're like, "You're Joe Millionaire." But he's like, "But I'm a hobo." And they're like, "Yeah, but
Kraft macaroni and cheese.
you know you love it."
You know you
And
love it.
so they give Hobo Williams.
By the way, it's the oldest reference. Hobo Williams was the hobo with the golden voice, man
Yeah.
with the golden voice, who was a hobo, but he was getting money because he had a great voice. And people would go up to him and say, "Do the voice." And he ended up doing Kraft macaroni and cheese commercials. And we talked about him and had fun with that story many years ago. No one else remembers. His name was Hobo Ted Williams. It's a hard name to forget.
Yeah, I mean,
Ted Williams.
Ted Williams.
So we quote him often. Not many people remember who the fuck that is.
Yeah, it's a good point. We give Hobo Williams more credit than most.
We're the only people that give him a shout out.
We're the number one show.
And you know you love it.
We aren't better. We just learned to choose our words more carefully.
Well, that doesn't make us better.
That's Mike D. We're way worse now. Are we way better now? I don't know. Well,
His name is Mike D, and he gets respect.
now, the original Joe Millionaire, they took Hobo Williams, and they're like, "All right, here's a sweet suit, a haircut, and a personal trainer. You're going to trick these women and tell them you're a millionaire and you're wealthy." And yeah, the original Joe Millionaire was a really fun premise, but when you really look at it through a kind set of eyes or like a current scope, is like, well, that's like deceptive, rude, and lying. Like he lied to all these women. Like, I'm a rich guy.
I mean, they chose to be on the show. Or that was a setup originally, right?
Agreed, but what I'm saying
now
is...
they know one is real and one is...
Oh, no, but let me get to that, though. The original why they changed the premise was, looking back, it is sort of wrong and rude. Like, even though it is a reality show, you're telling all these women one thing, and it's a lie. Like, while it was funny, it really was wrong in the premise that, hey, everyone, this guy's a millionaire. No, he's sort of like a schlub. That would be like dating someone in real life.
But it's also
And
a
them not
story
telling
of
you-
true
them
love.
not-
Do
them
you
not
really
telling
love the
you-
guy, or do you love who you think he is?
Yeah, but that plays a factor in loving someone.
I understand. Go ahead. I'm not here to argue
I'm
that.
saying, like, if you met someone and they didn't tell you, "Oh yeah, I'm divorced twice with 4 kids," left that out, like, that's not a factor. Like, there's factors that would make your decision. So it's deceptive. So they changed the premise. The premise now was they bring out a dude and they're like, "Ladies, like Joe Millionaire," and another dude comes out and he's like, "Hey ladies," and they're like, "Joe Millionaire, what's better than one? 2 Joes are better than one." One of them, just a regular guy. He's not poor. He's just a regular, hardworking dude. And the
Just
other
a regular Joe.
And the other guy is like a farmer. He's a tycoon. He's like a Dutton.
Oh, he's like Boss Hog?
No, yeah, he's like he might as well be a Dutton. He might as well be the son of what's his face, Kevin Costner. And the girls go on dates with both of these guys, and they have to not let on. Like, the poor guy can't pretend to be rich or can't give on that he's poor, and the rich guy can't like reference his helicopter. So that's the premise of this show.
I'll reference my helicopter. You wait and see.
Oh, it does.
Wait and
It does exploit some gold diggers, but there are some women on that show that are like, yeah, like, I'm a lawyer, I have money, like, I don't care. And other girls like, I'm a gold digger. If one girl goes, "I'm not a gold digger, I'm a gold finder."
Well, it's back, guys. The show is back. I'll check it out. I like trash TV.
When did Uncle Rich become so PC? I'm not PC, Big Steve, or is that your mom or whoever?
Who the hell knows?
I'm just saying that 20 years ago, when Joe Millionaire aired, the networks thought it was funny. Like, let's trick these women. Now, You think any network's going to be like, let's get a bunch of women and trick them?
Oh, if
I'm just
anything,
telling you the
it shows
dynamic
you-
of society.
It shows you the sign of the
It's not
times.
me. I'm telling
Yeah.
you the fucking story, Big Steve or your mom. It's 20 years ago. Let's trick a bunch of 20-year-old girls. Now it's like, oh my God, did they trick all those
Well,
women?
here's the problem with life.
mean,
Like my parents are like the opposite of PC. That's not right either. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing right about that. And then there's nothing right about the overcorrection and eye-rolly behavior that society panders to. That's also like barf. You know, there's a middle ground where we could all behave like civilized adults. You know, it's not the 1950s, nor should it be. And you also don't need to like walk around on eggshells just to appease everybody. So there's a middle ground that we should fucking finally get to. The pendulum should be somewhere here in the middle.
Yeah, but it's not.
By these nuts.
Which is why, then I might as well say it right now and we'll just move past it. Which is why I will make the proclamation today that I think Donald Trump's going to be the president in 2024. I watched the speech. I'm not saying one speech in Arizona convinced me, but I just saw the vibe.
The only way that's going to happen
The feel.
is if things continue to get significantly worse.
Well, what I'm saying is
Because-
I'm saying the narrative of like inflation, pandemic being handled poorly, society crumbling, the stock
then you know what
market's
you're gonna
down.
See? You're going to see even more of an effort from his party
Yeah.
to really push the narrative of this country is going
To the shitter.
to what's the basket term?
Hell in a handbasket.
Hell in a handbasket.
I'm
Like
just-
that narrative's really going to be pushed, and it's going to brainwash a lot of people.
I'm telling you right now.
I'm not saying that it isn't. I'm just saying it's really going to become our thought of society. Like,
No.
man, this world really sucks. And if we all buy into that, and there's proof to it,
And you might really feel that when you talk
then
about
maybe he has a
when
shot.
you talk about crime, when you talk about inflation and all the things going on.
But otherwise, Rich, been there, done that. It's like taking the X back. You know what it comes with.
yeah, but what I'm saying
Even
is,
though they said they may have changed or whatever.
based on inflation, based on jobs and crime and all the things going on, 2024 might be too far away because some ship may get righted or something. But if you told me if the election was in November 2022 and it was not 4 years and it was 2 years, Donald Trump, hands down. I'm telling, if it was in 2022, based on the way things are right now,
Not believe it or not, I don't think it's bad enough yet for him to win again. Him, specifically him. Yeah, maybe someone from the Republican Party.
The Democrats wouldn't win right now the presidency.
No, agreed.
But I'm telling you,
Trump?
by watching the speech,
And he's no spring
he
chicken
will
either.
fire. I'm calling it right now. I'm calling it right now. He was talking about how everything was fixed and how he was robbed, and he doubled down on the whole like
Austin
the election
Arnold.
was stolen.
We all agree that people are sick of how things are right now. But to think that Trump is going to win is a stretch. You're forgetting how much divide that guy caused? Even if he's the answer to fix some of the problems, you can't forget how much divide he caused in this country. Even people that are on his side don't want to deal with that again.
Yo, bro,
Not completely.
What I'm saying, and this is we're
not until we're all a
and-
bunch of hobo Williams.
And just so you
with
know,
COVID.
Covino and I are talking down the middle.
Yeah,
We're not talking from a righty or lefty standpoint. I'm just saying.
I agree. There's no way a Democrat's going to win.
Watch a
again.
Trump speech right now and tell me
It was that good though.
and
huh?
tell me. Well, I don't know if good's the word. It was a
had
certainly
you
convincing.
nodding.
It was, and someone just said it. I wish I could scroll back up on the feedback. I think Rolando, if you want to retype or resend what you said, that crime, inflation, jobs, the different things that are going on right now is the perfect time for someone. Listen, if there was a Republican in office, it would be the perfect time for a Democrat to attack and be like,
Yeah.
look at how bad things are. But Donald Trump, because he's so abrasive in nature, it was even more of a speech of like, this is a shame. Like, what a shame we have
Well,
become.
it is a shame.
And yo,
Everybody wanted Trump out so bad, right? That we put this buffoon
I
in
mean,
there. And I have nothing
Wes is
against
probably
Biden, but
Wes is probably right. Trump won't win, but no way Biden or Harris is in the White House
No
after
way.
this term. Neither
hold
one.
on, I want to look how old is fucking Donald Trump. Do you know?
Donald Trump is 76, 77, 75, 74,
75.
75.
Yeah. So he's old, dude.
Well-
But some old people have their wits about them.
I'm just
For
saying.
example, you know who I saw making fun of Biden this weekend? Rich Little. Rich Little's 83.
The comedian's still around?
He's 83.
That kid, he's still around?
He's still around. This guy was headlining like, Johnny Carson back in the day. He's been around since the early 70s, if not before that. And he's still around, doing Biden impressions. And he looks good, but he has his wits about him. He's 83. And again, he was making fun of Biden.
Well,
Donald Trump, he's 75 now. He's got his wits about him.
Mark in Colorado, my words. And Stu Hot Wagner would probably be the number one guy that would cry and move to Canada over this.
Mm-hmm.
But people that hate Donald Trump, I'm telling you, watch even 10 minutes of this speech, and you're going to be like, yo,
I'll watch it.
No, he will.
I just find him entertaining.
He absolutely.
Well,
I'm saying he will absolutely have the ability to rile people up even more than he did years ago. Because his speech was like, I didn't even think it could get this bad.
So
Sleepy Joe,
what happens
I thought Sleepy Joe would be bad, but this is like, I need to come intervene. What
happens to all the people that were against Trump?
There's a lot of people that did not vote for Trump that are unhappy now that would vote for him now, I think.
I don't think so.
Yeah. There's a lot of unhappy people now. Can't we get someone younger as president? I know. Push it. My dad said that. My dad thinks that you shouldn't be president unless you're like 50 or 60. My dad's like, why? My dad's retired and 70.
That makes sense. Yeah,
my dad's
I agree.
retired and 70. He's like, no one my age should be running the country. What, every other company?
I think the sad part is
every other company?
Every country's looking at us and fucking laughing at our divide and laughing at how it's being run and laughing at Joe Biden. And
every other company.
And say what you want about Donald Trump, but and you could say fairly anything you want about Donald Trump. I think he did command the respect of other world leaders. I do.
We don't, you know what the crazy part is? You don't know. I don't know. And anyone giving their feedback or watching doesn't know. So when people go, we're a laughing stock, or they like this guy or this guy, really? It's like when people talk about COVID and doctors. Do you talk to world leaders? Because I don't talk to world leaders, so I don't have a gauge of what they think of Donald Trump. So anything you repeat or I repeat would really just be
opinion.
Repeating someone else or something you heard.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah, no. There should be an age minimum and an age maximum.
I agree with your dad on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's going to be interesting. We hate to talk about politics, but I'm telling you, the speech was it was an hour and 20 minutes, and I watched a good chunk of it just because I'm like, man, this guy.
And it made you think. Hold on, I want to rephrase.
Yeah.
Or restate what you said. Donald Trump will be president again. I have a proclamation.
Oh yeah, I think he will.
Donald Trump will be president again.
If the election was in 2022,
I knew you were on the fence.
It was
the speech pushed you over the fence.
If the election was in 2022, shoo-in. 2024 might give the party and the country to get past COVID. No, because here's the thing. If in the next 2.5 years we get past COVID and start building, then no. But if like things keep going downward, watch the speech and you'll be like, man, this guy's going to rile up a lot of people.
Paul, Dimitri, Jason, you guys are nuts if you think that anybody is our own people aren't respecting Joe Biden. You think other world leaders are respecting that guy?
I think they're both. I think Trump and Biden both have people laughing at them.
I'm sure. But who would you prefer in that scenario at this moment? And, I don't give a fuck. I'm not trying to get political either.
Yeah,
Rich thinks that Trump will be president.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's just an instinct I had from watching it. And by the way, I wonder how our black friends feel.
I tried to see the speech, so I put on Fox News just to see some of it. And all I see is My Pillow guy commercials.
Yeah.
That guy has some serious investment in Fox News.
I should have not told you. I should have just said, tell me what you think our black friends think. Because
about what?
Strategically behind Donald Trump on the by a stage.
Yeah.
It's like
James Brown impersonator?
10 brothers wearing like Blacks for Trump shirts. They were t-shirts, white t-shirts with black font, and it just said Blacks for Trump. And I'm like, is that his way of thinking? Like, see? See?
Of course it is.
I mean,
of course it is.
Woo.
All right. So thank you guys.
By the way, I'm getting feedback from listeners that are like, yo, I did not vote for Trump ever, and I would in 2024. So I'm telling you.
The world leaders at least respect Biden. Disagree, Jason. I completely disagree. They had no respect for Trump.
There's a
as
lot
a
of
person. I completely disagree with Jason.
There's a reason
I
why.
give you a lot of props for renewing your vows, but I completely disagree with you. Let's see, Western Idaho. There's so many Democrat governors that will lose their jobs in November, not to mention senators and House of Representatives. B. Jackson. Bo Jackson. What's up, Bo Jackson? We ain't feeling Trump or Biden. Oh, that's fair. I agree.
Agreed.
You know, we've been there, done that with Donald Trump. That's why it's a long shot. But who's making the most noise right now? Donald Trump. If things continue to go down, then who seems to be the best option? Probably Donald Trump. Just because I'm saying it's such a drastic, like, fuck that. Things are so bad, I'd vote for Donald Trump again.
I'm
just based
watch,
on
I'm just
that.
saying, just
not saying
watch
he's
it.
the answer.
I'm not, again,
I'm saying just based on people's opinion of how bad things are, they're going to so drastically want to go the other way. It's like, all right, for example, if you've been in a bad relationship, right, with a particular type of person, you tend to go for the complete extreme opposite of that person just because you don't want the same results. And it might be subconscious, but I can tell you straight up, it happens with me. It happened with every girl I ever dated. Every girl I ever dated went from like the exact opposite of the kind of guy I was because they didn't want to deal with me. I pushed them so far to certain limits. They're like, never again. In fact, I'm going with, Weenie McDougal. And I'm like, why is she with that guy?
And that's how.
So if Biden continues to push people, if Biden continues to push people so far, or his party so far, then yes, I could see Trump coming back because he's so opposite. I don't think someone in the middle or someone like who seems to be the right answer will be the winner.
Oh, that won't happen.
So we'll see what happens.
Well,
I gotta see the speech.
I mean, listen.
What else did he say in his
Raul,
speech?
you're very cool. He goes, let the politics go. People don't want to hear about politics, and people don't want to hear about sports.
Rich.
People don't want to
bring it up.
People don't want to hear about People don't want to hear about anything.
I saw feedback this morning.
I told you. I think
someone called you out and said, like, if he has to hear you talk about your 49ers, like, one more time, he's going to jump out a window.
Yeah. I mean, I have so many internal feelings that I can't express because we're on Patreon. You guys got to interview our next president, Dan Crenshaw. Did you interview him back in the day?
Sure
Yeah,
did.
but I don't think he's the guy.
He was cool, though.
He got hyped for a minute, but I don't think that hype stayed.
He was cool.
No, he's a cool guy.
He was cool. Look, party aside, I'm sure a lot of these people want what's best for the country. And I believe that.
I always think that.
Just some people misstep and they stink at it.
I think people get the power and then they become corrupt and jaded.
Then they realize they're handcuffed and really can't
for instance,
do the things they wanted to do.
When people talk shit about like the Clintons or Bushes or anyone, I'm always like, yeah, they may have ended up corrupt, but when they were 20-something years old in law school and they were like, I want to do good things for the people, and they were taking like community jobs, like there was a time where they had a good heart. Now they may be a piece of shit now, but you don't assume you're going to be president. You don't assume you're going to be a big time politician. So at one point they were probably good people. The system got them.
I think we should elect Rich Little. Because he's old, we like old presidents, and he can impersonate like every president.
You know what? That's a good idea.
From like Richard Nixon on.
He's 80, perfect age too for president.
I am not a crook. You ever see Rich Little do this shit? He could do that. He could be every president. So there you have it. I guess I got to see the speech. Rich says it's fucking convincing.
Well, I just say it's just convincing from the standpoint that you're gonna watch it and be like, man, he's gonna rile up a lot of people. And
I'm laughing and I'm intrigued just for the soul like train wreck of it all. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, hey, there could be a tsunami
Trump goes
because a volcano erupted this weekend underwater. Not that I want a tsunami, right? And not that I was hoping for one, but there was a part of me that's like, ooh, that could be cool.
I said, Sarah.
And that's how I feel about Donald Trump.
Tsunami, you say? Is Santa Monica okay? We're over the mountains, so we should be fine.
Not that you wish bad things.
Donald Trump went on. I saw him go on a whole rant. I'll just give you one more little tidbit, and then we'll move on. We got other stuff to get to.
Okay.
But he's like, have you seen these men competing in women's sports? Ladies, it's not fair to you. Not fair to you. Not fair to you. And he starts talking about how transgender folks are able to participate. He's like, a weightlifter who's never lifted a weight in his or her life is now a woman and breaks records. Unfair, ladies. Like, and he's going on and on about how all these women records are being broken by...
No, the transgender woman who was undefeated. What sport was it, though?
I'm not sure. He was talking about something else.
No, but did you see who beat the transgender woman who was like undefeated?
No.
Another transgender woman.
It was no.
I forget the sport.
He was going on a whole rant about how
probably powerlifting or something.
Swimming, and he's like, usually records are broken by milliseconds. It's like a woman who used to be a man broke a swimming record by 30 seconds, not like 1 second. 30. Like, so he was going on and on about that, and he'll change that. So, hey, just very interesting. Very, very interesting where our country will head. Hey, we're all here for the ride, right? We're here. We're just spectators.
I mean, get me some popcorn. I'll eat it because it's Betty White's birthday. Some cupcakes, too, for Jim Carrey's birthday.
And Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, bro.
We'll fight for his birthday.
Yeah. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Yeah.
Rumble, young man, rumble. All right, well, anyway, it's our Patreon. We were on Fox Sports Radio yesterday. Way to go, Richie, little jerk, bringing up politics.
Way to go.
You won't shut my mom up now. She's fighting with everybody. All right, so I wanted to talk about fuzzy socks. You want to talk about Donald Trump?
Yeah, let's talk about fuzzy socks.
No,
listen,
man.
dude.
Let's talk about Donald Trump. Let's divide our already small audience.
Man. And now the end is near. All right, go on.
Let's talk about the 49ers. We do have to say this. Bengals beat the Raiders. Joe Burrow's a G.
You always
really
say
is.
Bengals like your favorite girl,
Bengals.
like your favorite girl band.
They're not the Bengals. They're the Bengals. I said Bengals. If I'm saying it funny, then I'm just.
It's just your accent. I
It's
think.
just my accent.
Yeah.
Because I
You're
feel like I'm
saying
saying
it
Bengals. Like
Oh,
B-E-N.
Yeah, no, you always sound like you're saying Bengals. I'm like, oh, he loves what's her face? That's her hot. What's the hot girl
Um,
from the Bengals?
Susanna something.
Susanna Hoff.
Is that her name?
Susanna Hoff. Man, Covino, I love the Bengals.
Bengals
There you go again.
over the Raiders. Raiders played tough though, and you gotta tip your hat. I'll tip my hat that Jaime Tavares got me to the Raiders for overcoming a lot of obstacles and still playing tough. Right? I mean, they still did good.
The Raider. We, as I said yesterday on Fox Sports,
What was it 25-19?
I hope we have a good game tonight.
26-19.
Arizona at the Rams. So far, there's been 5 wildcard games, 2 great games, 3 stinkers.
Yeah. Yeah.
The stinkers. Okay. And you know what? My dad called me last night. He's like, oh, I'm mad at you. I go, what are you mad at me for? He goes, you and I had a whole conversation about how the 7 seeds did not belong. Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. They were both going to get killed by the Bucs and the Chiefs. I go, yeah. He goes, we had that conversation for 20 minutes. And you said you were going to make a big bet on it. He goes, I was so excited. I went into our account. It's like, you bet $50? I was like, yeah, I'm like, I'm not feeling it. He goes, I was all excited thinking you won like $500. He goes, you tell me about this, your lock bet, and I agreed with you. And he goes, disappointing. You only bet $50.
So,
what are you doing?
Well, not to harp on it again, because we talked about this in depth yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, foxsportsradio.com. We pushed the link out there yesterday. If you want to check it out later on your ride home, Martin Luther King Day, getting out a little early, maybe you're off. foxsportsradio.com. What are your thoughts on Bengals Titans moving forward?
Bengals Titans? I like the Bengals, man. You know what? You would think it's of all the years, of all the weeks.
Burrow Chase thing.
Yeah, of all the weeks that I would lose my bets, I did not make a 6-game parlay for all the teams that I liked. And so far, Jim Bramsey even pointed out, he goes, yeah, Rich is 5 for 5. Congrats. I wonder if you made a big bet. No, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't. But yeah, Bengals, I like the Bengals and the Bills to me were automatics on Saturday. Did I say Bengals?
I don't know. Bills Pats, one of the snoozeroos you speak of, because even I shut that game off and I was like, all right, I'll try Yellow Jackets, I guess. I mean, it was 47-17. Bills dominated the Pats. What are your thoughts on Bills Chiefs moving forward?
Ooh, I like the Bills. I like both underdogs this week. I like the Bills and the Bengals.
That's a nice battle, though.
Bills and the Bengals. I mean, Mahomes could beat anyone, so I mean, they could be. But I just, one of these years, the Bills are back. We talked about this last night. I said those 2 young quarterbacks, I think, have the best chance at one of them winning a Super Bowl in the next 5 years. Joe Burrow or Josh Allen.
What about Joe Burrow? What about... Okay. I thought you meant Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
All right. Buccaneers over the Eagles. Tom Brady looking solid. Just throwing the ball to everybody. 31-15. Now, they play the winner of tonight's game, Cardinals at the Rams.
I could see
any
Matthew.
thoughts, any predictions there?
I could see Matthew Stafford giving Tom Brady a battle, but
Okay.
I think the Bucks beat whoever.
So clearly you're saying the Rams are going to beat the Cardinals tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. Easy.
So Rich is saying Rams tonight. Either way, something to look forward to, something to check out. No Bachelor. Sorry, guys. And we already said the Chiefs. So the Chiefs beat the Steelers in a blowout. We were on the air as that game was on, and I was just hoping for something exciting, but the Steelers had nothing for the Chiefs, and they lost 42-21. So some great football this weekend, and all the teams that we thought would be there are pretty much there.
Yeah, well, that's the other
Right.
big takeaway is that people spend all year speculating and giving their thoughts and their opinions on, ooh, this team or that team or this team. But the reality is, when all said and done, Bengals, Bills, Chiefs, Titans, probably the four teams you would have picked in the beginning of the year.
And I said this last night on Fox Sports Radio, and it is a cool fact, so I'll say this again. The Buffalo Bills just had the NFL's first ever perfect offensive game. This is how solid they're playing. No punts, no picks, no fumbles lost, no field goals, all touchdowns on every single drive until the kneel downs. And they did it against the top 5 defense. So Buffalo Bills, NFL's first ever perfect offensive game.
Is that crazy?
They're playing great. So they're going to bring it to the Chiefs. And, you know, some other side stories that maybe we'll get to today. Either way, we're a spotless Covino and Rich show. And this is so dumb, but I'll bring it up now.
Please do.
Why not?
Why not? And what's my Super Bowl pick? I don't have one, Kyle. I don't have one. Because my pick is it's like an obvious one. I don't think there's a surprise. I'm not going to be like, my Niners are going to go on a run. I think the Niners are a great matchup against the Packers Saturday, but I think the Packers should win the game, but if the Niners won, I wouldn't be surprised. But if you ask me, I think it's Aaron Rodgers.
It's funny. That's the only game we skipped.
Yeah.
49, because we talked about it so much yesterday. 49ers played really good against the Cowboys, man. It was a close game, but
the Cowboys are so undisciplined. And
Yeah.
you know what it is? A lot of times when there's a penalty and you're like, man, are the referees fucking them over? Every time they showed the replay, it's like, no, they didn't. Like the Cowboys were just making bonehead mistakes. Like, he tackled the guy who was blocking. He wrapped his head over, he pushed the guy's helmet off. Like, they weren't bullshit penalties. So Cowboys can't even say, blame it on the refs, because every time they show the replays, even Tony Romo was like, man, that's an obvious flag. Like, what are you
blame
going to
it
do?
on the refs. Yeah. All right, so
Well, there you go.
49ers move on. They take on the Packers, and of course they got a shot.
Of course, yeah. I think
Who would you rather see move forward?
I think
if you're not a 49ers fan, probably the Packers.
Depends. I don't know. A lot of people don't like Aaron Rodgers.
I think they're a solid.
And
they're both good.
And
They're
as we
both
said,
good teams.
as we said last night, I thought it was our funniest take of the night was, what would Jimmy Garoppolo have to do for the 49ers to stick with him? Because, oh, by the way, Jason Nichols, if you want to bet me, hit me, DM me personally, because if you think Packers by 10, I'll bet you whatever money amount you want if you're giving me 10 points. I think Jimmy Garoppolo, for them to stick with him, you and I made the silly analogy of how every comedy, or even childhood movie, like The Goonies, right? They were going to lose the Boondocks. But then they found One-Eyed Willie's treasure. There's always
Took a miracle.
Yeah, it took a miracle. They're going to close down the store. We're out of money. After 100 years, Grandpappy's shop is closing down until someone comes in and saves the shop. Is there any circumstance where Jimmy Garoppolo keeps his starting job in San Francisco? Would he have to miraculously win couple more games and make it to the Super Bowl again? Is there any way on earth that the 49ers reconsider and they're like, you know what, maybe we stick with Jimmy instead of Trey Lance?
Also made the point that it might be better for him to move on and be somewhere where he's appreciated and he feels better about that anyway. But for the 49ers to want to keep him, because it's like a relationship. They already know who the next guy is, right? Yeah. And in a relationship, once that person has their mind set up on someone else, it's very hard to win back the love of that person. So Jimmy G would have to take the team to the Super Bowl and play well.
Jason thinks just make it to the NFC Championship.
No.
If he beats the Packers next week, which, by the way, the Niners, who are run heavy match up well against Green Bay. Anything could happen. The Packers only 4-point favorites.
Tough, man. They let that game get close because they started off dominating.
Yeah, that game should have been if Garoppolo didn't make a few mistakes, it would have been like a blowout.
No, you saw that. You could see that the 49ers were just a better team. They really were. From the get-go, you could see that.
So, yeah, I just wonder, like, is there and I'm not necessarily rooting for it, but is there a way that, like, in any circumstance,
I think make it to the Super Bowl and play well. Like,
and then they're like, you know what, we're going to stick with you. And then what happens to Trey Lance? Like, you're right. It's a weird thing, right?
Well, we'll see what happens. Some fun games moving forward. A fun game tonight, Cardinals at Rams. And, again, foxsportsradio.com to hear us talk about all this nonsense and more. You know what? The one thing we didn't talk about yesterday was Joe Burrow. Kid's a stud. I mean, he really is great. Like, wow, what poise for a kid in his second year.
He's a cool kid.
Coming off a big injury, too.
Yeah.
And, we've seen time and time again how hard it is for a college kid to translate in the NFL. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes it never happens. And this guy, walks around with a fucking hog in his pants. He's good. He's got the goods. But he's so confident. He's wearing, like, grandma glasses. And I wish we could show you the picture. But he's wearing these glasses, and they even called him out at a press conference. They're like, any significance with those glasses? And he's like, nah, I just think they're cool.
Yeah,
what do you think? He's like, what do you think? And I'm like, I think it's cool that you're rocking them, but I think that you lost a bet, and I think that your teammates are, like, encouraging you to wear these, like, as a joke.
And you're not telling us.
And you're not telling us? Because there's no fucking way a cool young guy like you would rock those grandma glasses. To me, they're terrible.
They're funny as hell.
Look it up on your own time, but it is a funny side story that he's wearing these at the press conference, and they're not that cool.
But now
unless I'm just not seeing it. I mean, what do I know?
To me, football is keeping my interest alive. The month of January, I said this to you yesterday.
It's the only thing going on right now.
Yeah, when we were leaving
the butthole of the year.
When we were leaving Fox yesterday, I said, man, like, football's the only thing keeping most people's interest right now, because if not for football, you have the post-holiday blues. It's the new year. Most places it's snowy or rainy or cold. You really can't go out and do much. If not for football, if not for all these football weekends, I don't know what would keep people's interest. Now, I want to get to your dumb story, so go ahead.
My dumb story is really dumb.
I'm anticipating it.
And it's what we're best at. I know this. I don't pretend to be anything other. I'm like Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai knows it's cheesy. Cobra Kai knows it's not the best written show, but it's entertaining. It knows what it is. That's how I feel about my opinions and my show and myself. I know what I am. Perfectly imperfect, but entertaining. So this discussion is like right now wheelhouse. But here's what I have to start off and preface this by saying, I think I'm wrong about it. I think I'm wrong based on the overwhelming feedback I got. So I'm approaching this with an open mind, but there's a part of me that thinks everybody's wrong here. And maybe I'm too macho for my own good or something, or I'm too old school.
Yeah, macho for your own good.
So here's what happens. Christmas time just passed, right?
Told you. We got the holiday blues.
I feel like every dad buys their daughter, or somehow every woman in your life ends up with a pair of fuzzy socks in their stocking for Christmas.
Fuzzy socks.
Fuzzy socks. Now, I'm not an expert in fuzzy socks. In fact, I was trying to buy my daughter slippers for Christmas, right? Because she rocks around the house with slippers and stuff. And Jordan's like, just buy her fuzzy socks. She'll love them. I'm like, I don't think my daughter likes fuzzy socks. Man, was I wrong. I was so wrong. Melody was like, I love fuzzy socks.
Who's Fuzzy Britches?
Who the fuck is that?
Don't you remember in Shawshank when Red would be like, oh, we'd say Fuzzy Britches.
I don't know.
Who the fuck's Fuzzy Britches?
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Who cares? Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't really fuzzy, was he?
Miss Fuzzy Britches.
Fuzzy Britches. I don't know that shit. I'm in the middle of a story. How about you pay attention?
You kept saying, you said fuzzy too many times. Then I thought Morgan Freeman saying Fuzzy Britches.
Fuzzy
Britches.
The point is, see, Andrew Hart, I don't even think he understands what the fuck fuzzy socks are. they're fuzzy fucking socks. So I got them from my kid. She was like, I fucking love fuzzy socks. I'm like, I never saw you wear. She's like, I wear fuzzy socks at mom's house all the time. How would you know? I'm like, you're right. How would I know? I didn't know. But talk about home runs, slam dunks. Oh. Jordan rocks fuzzy socks. Every woman in my life that I've known, except for like my sisters, I have never seen them rock fuzzy socks. My mom wears droopy socks. But around this time of year, cold, wintry nights, fuzzy socks. Now, Jordan put on a pair this weekend, right? You wake up a cold weekend morning, a little brisk.
Fuzzy britches.
The floors are cold, right? She put her tootsies in some warm fuzzy socks. And they looked super comfortable. They really did. And I'm like, and I jokingly was like, I want to wear some fuzzy socks. They look fucking good right now.
Yeah.
I got my feet up on this ottoman. I'm wearing some old screen door. I got a breeze flowing through my socks. They're wearing away at the bottom. I got some shitty regular socks on. I'm like, I wish I could wear fuzzy socks. Jordan's like, go ahead. You want to try them on? I'm like, nah, fuck that. I can't do that. It's against my code.
I don't get it.
This is what's hilarious. Okay, so anyway.
Okay.
The guy inside, not up my ass.
Oh, who's the
inside
guy?
of my soul?
Who's the guy inside of you?
In my
What's
being
his name?
is like, fuck out of here, fuzzy. This guy doesn't wear fuzzy socks. Any man I ever admired in my life never fucking wore like little fuzzy footsie socks.
I have a question.
Is serious?
I've said it before and I'll say it again.
It's
I
just
can't
a
pretend.
way of thinking. It's not that I'm doing what they do. These are my influences, and that's what is appropriate or not appropriate to me.
But I can't help but notice that
but I
other
can't help
people
but notice that you're odd.
No, but I can't help but notice that every time you say
you're as
something,
odd as you make me out to
every
be.
time you say something, it goes back to I can't picture any guys you looked up to when you were a kid. Like you're keeping a standard of like, well, I can't picture my grandfather doing it. I can't picture my grandfather doing anything cool because he was.
That's not cool.
He was born in 1920.
But what's so cool about wearing a woman's socks? That's how I see it.
I told Sarah to throw me a fuzzy sock. Like
now,
this,
what did I say?
I
said I am here to respectfully say maybe I'm wrong, but it's going to be hard to convince me because when I see these things, I think, does that look like a man to you? Does that look manly to you? I say
you admire
no.
Rocky Balboa?
There's a part of me that still does what men do, and there's a lot of things that I do that isn't what men do, or I'm not capable of doing what men do. I can't ride a horse. I can't fix a car. I can't put up a ceiling fan. But I'm not going to wear a woman's socks. So anyway, Jordan's like, go ahead, try them on. I'm like, nah, fuck out of here. So I took a picture of her feet, and I'm watching the game, and I took a picture of the feet, and I wrote, is it appropriate for a man, in caps, a man, it's a dirty word nowadays, because what is a man? Right? A man to wear fuzzy socks. And can I tell you, I got an overwhelming response. What do you think the percentages was? I have stats and facts to prove that I might be wrong, but maybe society's a little off.
I mean, I would say significantly more than half of people probably told you, yeah, dude, wear fuzzy socks.
68% of the population, right, of people that saw our Instagram and Facebook, 68% said, yeah, wear fuzzy socks. And I'm like, and a lot of people are like, well, why wouldn't you? I'm like, I don't know, because that's like what women wear.
People are like, but the question remains.
And then there was a lot of like,
you?
then there was like a lot of even like macho dudes are like, hey man, when my tootsies are cold, fuck yeah, I'll wear some fuzzy socks. I just won't wear them like out with the boys.
I just think it's funny that you assign fluffy socks. Like it's not like I'm saying a dress.
Like manly socks.
I'm not saying it's a dress. I'm not saying yo, Covino, you should wear high heels. I'm saying they're fucking comfy, warm socks on a winter day.
Socks, fucking, then wear some insulated socks, some manly socks, or throw some slippers on. Why the fuck would you wear those?
These are more feminine that Sarah just threw in here because they
all look like that.
Because they have pink and white.
But they all look like that. But what man have you? I've never seen a man in my life wear those things. In my life.
So the alternative is to wear something less comfortable so that you remain masculine?
It doesn't have to be less comfortable, but does it have to be a woman's sock is my question. I always thought fuzzy socks were for women. I come to find out that almost 70% of the population is like, fuck, yeah, right on.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of people, though. A lot of those people were like, Yeah, but like I'm not like leading with them. I'll rock them in the privacy of my home.
Well, where else would you leave fluff? You would only
No,
wear
they're like mopeds kind of. Like you're not like
advertising
You're
it.
not advertising it, but you're rocking it.
But to me, where would you wear fluffy socks other than in your home? So if you're in your home in your own domain,
Well, you act like dude. When I fucking hit a ski mountain, I'm not rocking fluffy socks. I'm wearing like an insulated, an appropriate sock.
I'm going function over fashion on this one.
I just couldn't believe it, man. So
do
anyway,
you not lay on the couch with fluffy blankets?
Fluffy nothing. Yeah, fluffy blanket. That's not on my fucking feet.
I can't wear
That's
this
like
blanket.
wearing
It's
so you're saying you'd wear your wife's? Well, you and your wife share socks.
Jordan-
So that's berserk to me.
Jordan is like, yo, here's a pink throw blanket, and you're like, it's pink. Can you get me a black or
different.
gray blanket?
That's different than wearing their underwear. Wearing their undergarments, wearing their fucking socks.
I mean, socks are pretty standard. I mean, it's like,
Covino has an issue of not softening up. Alex, do I have the issue, or are you wearing a woman's socks? Why don't you wear their fucking nightie too? Because it's comfy. I have the issue because I have this thought. I'm open to it. I took a poll,
I think,
and it says, and 70% of the people said I was wrong.
I think
So
it's,
I'm one of the 30%, but I have to say, fuck no.
there's enough guys that think like you. So much so that I saw a few guys refer to them as, quote, cabin socks. And I feel as though
That's
that is the branding that some smart person did years ago
Yes.
when they realized they bumped into one too many Covinos.
Yes, I already
Like,
had
I'm
this
not
thought.
wearing fluffy socks. Yeah, bro, but they're not fluffy
They're
socks.
Cabin socks.
Cabin socks.
Yeah, and
what
they
do you mean
come in
cabin
cool
socks? Like,
flannel.
when you're doing like manly stuff in a cabin and you're cold?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, when
I'll
I'm
wear it.
chopping
Then I'll
wood.
certainly wear cabin. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, so you mean like if
I
I'm
won't
in
wear
a-
fluffy socks, but I'll wear cabin
all
socks.
right, cabin socks.
I already thought of this and saw that, and I'm like,
Multiple people
fuck
said it's
outta
like,
here.
yeah, I'll rock cabin socks. What a great marketing technique. It's like when companies that create like self-care products are like, yeah, we came out with a man body scrub, and it's like, oh, a man body scrub. Oh, good
By
thinking.
the way, Jesus, you think your fucking vatos in the barrio are okay with you rocking fluffy socks? Your boys who are pulling their socks all the way up to their knees, you think they're rocking little fluffy girly socks like that? You're out of your mind. You'd be kicked out of the barrio. Anyway, I am here to
a lot of
say
these.
that I realized I was wrong, but it's not going to change what I do. And what I do is I'm going to wear an appropriate sock regardless.
It's not a purse.
I'd rather wear fucking 2 pairs of socks than a pair of fluffy socks like that.
It's not a purse. Covino uses a man sling. They're not fluffy socks. They're cabin socks.
It's a fucking
all
backpack.
you need to honestly, all you need to do.
My bag is so far from a purse.
All you
it's
need
ridiculous.
to do. All you need to do for a guy like Covino
rebrand it.
is rebrand it, and a guy like Covino is
It's not
fucking
true because I'm
superly
not wearing
convinced.
cabin socks either.
A loofah in the shower? No thanks. Yeah, it's a man scrubber. Oh, well, I got the man scrubber. I'll use a man scrubber,
Unless-
but a loofah?
Unless
no
it's like
can do.
by default, it's a gift. I'm not saying never, but I don't. I'm here to tell you that what I always thought was something for women and women only. It's news to me that 70% of people are like, yeah, fucking yeah, my dude's super manly.
guys.
He wears them all the time.
Please help me think of some. Everybody, help me think of products that traditionally in
Put
the
them
old.
on. You see what today's man looks like.
I'm wearing slippers right now.
Well, so
I have to
what?
take off
Oh, because you're a man. That's why you're wearing slippers. That to me sounds appropriate.
They look super comfy.
Alex, you know what, Alex Berman, you took a lot of shit. Don't bother me anymore. You can talk shit. You either talk shit or you're my friend. Pick one. Now, go ahead.
That's how it is? He has
Yeah,
to love you?
that's how it is.
Oh, Covino, all right, Alex, agree with everything Covino says or don't be his friend.
But then don't bother me about other things. Here, go ahead,
So
let's see.
wait, someone has to.
Let's see those manly feet of yours. Let's see
It's a
them.
woman's sock, so it's small on me.
Exactly.
But they,
Does that look like a man to you, Alex? You, Mr. I'm into cars. Maybe you overcompensate.
sock.
Hey man, I'm a grease monkey. Ooh, I need grease and oil and engines. Because you're wearing a woman's sock. That's why. I don't need to overcompensate. You may think I do. That's just who I am. I'm not wearing that fucking thing ever.
I
Unless
agree.
it's like a joke or
I agree
something.
with Jason Brown. And
Are you sure about that?
I do, and I'll explain
Really?
why. I'll
Because
explain.
90% of the things he says makes my eyes roll. But I love the guy. Are you sure?
I agree with him on this one.
Oh, okay.
I'll improv a little bit. He said Steve needs to stop living his life seeking the approval from others. I just feel like a lot of your decisions are
Others?
made
Or
from
like
a
I feel like a fish out of
no,
water
I feel
wearing
like,
some shit that I wouldn't wear.
I feel like a lot of your decisions are made from the perspective that I had in high school and college. Like, man, I really hope the guys don't make fun of me. Like, as a grown up, the thought of what other people think
It's a woman's
has become
sock,
less and less.
bro. So you're the one saying because it's a cabin sock. Like, everything you're saying is opposite. You're the one saying because it's branded a cabin
I'm saying
sock.
a guy
that it's
like you.
okay.
I'm saying a guy
I never
like
fucking
you
rocked it and wouldn't. So like that, all that shit applies to you and
No,
and Alex
You're missing the point 100%.
and everybody else.
I'm saying guys like you are very hung up on masculinity and what other people think. So companies,
it's not hung up.
companies
It's
across
like
the
part
board,
of who I am.
and companies.
It's not a pretend.
Listen,
it's not a
there's
game.
two types
it's
of people.
not hung up.
There's two types of people: people that are hung up
Yeah.
and people that aren't.
No, it's not hung up. It's like it doesn't feel like it's in my nature
Okay.
to rock a woman's sock
All right.
because I'm not a woman.
All right, I'll
There's
give you
nothing wrong or like controversial about that.
Could we make a list? I want to get the
I think
list.
it's you trying to like, I hate the term, but gaslight me to think like I'm wrong because I'm not open enough to wear a foofy sock.
Yo, would Abe Lincoln wear fuzzy socks?
Fuck no.
and I look up to Abe Lincoln.
Why not? He's a fucking man. Who are you looking up to?
Not someone from decades ago.
It doesn't matter. He's still a man. Like, is masculinity a bad thing? Because according to 70% of people, it's like, yeah, why should you care? I don't know, because that's who I am.
But I want to hear from everyone. I want to see the examples.
And it's
'cause
not about caring. It's like, yeah, I don't wear women's underwear either.
I want to think of what are other things in society that needed the rebranding for guys like Covino. I want to see what other things
For
people
guys
come
like
up
me,
with.
but you're the one willing to wear them.
No, I'm willing to wear it when it's a girl sock.
If it's me, where am I
no.
bending these rules
I'm willing to
because
wear
of the rebranding?
No. I'm willing to wear a fluffy sock, even if it's called a girl
But
fluffy
where
sock.
am I bending the rules because they rebranded something? I called it a man bag. No one ever fucking said, it's not a sling, it's a man bag. I made that up. So where has the rebranding brainwashed me to think, oh, it's okay?
But you're the type of guy that they do that for. If you don't believe that, then you're out of your
then
mind.
I think then they're stupid. That's not me.
No.
I'm true to like, well, that doesn't feel right. I
Men
wouldn't wear that.
shampoo. Let's see.
Well,
Makeup.
Alex, are men not supposed to wash their hair?
No, but he's right. Alex M is right. I'm asking him to
He's
make a
saying
list.
men's shampoo.
He's right.
Men are supposed to not
No.
wash their hair.
He's right, Alex. Thank you. Don't worry about Covino insulting you.
Men's shampoo.
There are products, hair products, right? That
Like every man Jack, like body wash, like man. Is that what you're
apologize
talking
to
about?
Alex.
No, because he said men's shampoo.
Yes. There, guys like you.
Okay.
You're in some weird denial. I'm not saying you're wrong, but there's a whole reason marketing.
I'll use
There's a
whatever.
whole reason
Yeah.
that companies have overly marketed traditionally unmasculine products
what's wrong with
to
that?
men.
You make it wrong. Is a man not supposed to smell like a man? He's supposed to smell like his woman.
Forget it.
But what's wrong with that? On the flip side, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? You're not answering my question. What's wrong with a man smelling like Ron Burgundy?
No, there's nothing wrong with a man smelling like Ron Burgundy. I'm just making the point that it's so obvious that there's a reason, and it's a good reason, why companies, you're not listening. Just listen for a second. That companies spent the last decade or so, more than ever, marketing to men what would formerly be considered feminine products so that men will buy them. And Alex brought up 20, goes, like shampoos and stuff. Yeah. Instead of like suave, flowery shampoos, it's like, yeah, we got like the man sense from whatever, like Dove Men or Jack this or what's the one? Jack?
Every man Jack.
Every man Jack.
Okay,
So, all
but
right, shampoos and conditioners.
I'll use that. I'll use whatever fucking products in the shower.
Why do they
But
have?
why is it wrong to have one that's for you?
What do they have next to?
Why should you smell like a fucking basket of flowers?
What do
That's
they
what
have?
your woman smells like.
What do they have next to the loofahs?
You guys have turned masculinity into a bad thing. Or like you're wrong, or you're too macho, or because you're masculine, oh man, you must be a homophobe. That's everyone turning that shit into that. Because I think these are foofy socks for girls makes me wrong. And that's the problem with society. Men are men, and men should be men to some degree. Just because I have one stance doesn't make me the crazy guy. It doesn't. But I am willing to say, man, I was the minority when 70% of the people were like, fuck yeah, I wear fluffy socks. So I admit, hey, I was wrong, I guess. I've never tried them. It's one of those don't knock them till you try them things too, though, because I probably would put my feet in them and say, ooh, these are delightful. I just have never done it. It never dawned on me. Just like wearing a dress. There's probably something very liberating, and my balls are probably free, and I can manspread in it. Never dawned on me to try one on. It never dawned on me to put on these fluffy socks. The end. But you can't make it out like, oh, you're one of those guys that looks up to macho dudes. How is that a fucking bad thing? If those macho dudes were hateful fucking jerk-offs, okay, but that's not even what I'm getting at. How is that a bad thing?
Gabe hit us up and
You
said,
think your dad wears fluffy socks?
oh, for sure.
No.
Oh, if his feet are cold? 100%.
I mean, it gets very cold in Queens.
Axe makes a loofah,
I have the Axe
but they
loofah.
don't call it a loofah. They call it a shower detailer. Because a guy like you,
But I use the loofah
if
too.
he hears loofah, though, traditionally a guy would be like, loofah? No way. But
I call it a
guy,
sacate.
guys,
A sacate.
it's a shower detailer. Like you're detailing a car because that's what guys do. So it's a shower detailer.
Okay, so let me ask you. Do
A
you use
man-
one of those fucking pink fluffy ones that
I
your
do.
wife uses?
Yeah.
A pink one?
I use a pink one because Sarah probably bought a bunch of them because they're like $2 each. I don't need a black
feel
one.
right
I don't
about
need a
that.
black
I
one.
don't need a black one, but what's wrong with wanting it?
All right,
See,
if Sarah-
the
if Sarah-
issue here is why are you making it like wrong for a guy again to want to lean masculine? Why does a guy have to be so in the middle and extra foofy? To be like, oh, what a well-rounded guy.
Yeah, but I just find it funny that.
Why does that have to be the
All
right
so,
answer?
So if Sarah goes to Rite Aid or CVS
Yeah.
and buys.
She can't buy you a blue one?
Couple loofahs. Yeah, no, there's a blue one, but like the regular. Yeah, let's say there's a blue one and a pink one and a white one, she just grabs a bunch of them. I don't need her to buy me the special Axe black and gray one that says body detailer because I'm like, yeah, I'll wash myself with that.
That's a better one. I like it. It's more masculine. Why is that bad? Someone please tell me why that's bad. Why is that a bad
all
thing?
this on Martin Luther King Day. I know.
Martin Luther King, one of my favorite body wash products.
They
on
should
this,
have. They
on
should
this
have.
special day.
They should have absolutely had a loofah Rigno. Green Hulk one in the 70s. Guys would have been
Rigno.
using loofahs for the last 40, 50 years.
A loofah Rigno. I love that.
Rigno.
I love that.
Yeah.
I just look. There's a part of me. I'm very unmasculine in a lot of ways, but again, that's just who I am. Or, I think I'm a product of my environment, to be honest. Right. So people are like, why don't you change your own oil? I didn't grow up that way, man. I'm sorry, I didn't. Hey, why don't you fucking do this and that? Why don't you fucking ride a horse? Because I grew up in New Jersey, and that's not like the lifestyle I led.
What are you, not a Dutton?
I get it. So in a lot of ways, you guys, why don't you don't drive a fucking 4-wheel tractor? What the fuck's wrong with you? I don't, because I grew up in New Jersey, so I'm a product of my environment. And there's a lot of things that I may be or do that could be deemed unmasculine. But I'm not gonna fucking do things like that feel off to me because you guys say that it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it never dawned on me.
I think you're more surprised that 70% of people are like, yeah, Covino, wear fluffy socks.
Yeah, 70%.
Well,
70%. So, again, if I want to be an
Cabin
open-minded guy, I might have to try a pair one day.
I think
it never dawned on me.
I'm not saying you're missing the point. I think that
I'm making the point.
I think it's brilliant that companies have done this because they are hitting a market of Covino types and people that are even more extreme than Covino. Whether it's a special manly body washer, no, it's not a loofah, it's a body detailer for men. Or candles is a great one. I'm buying a if I buy a candle or Spot makes a candle, know what I want? I want the fucking marshmallow cookie cake smell. I want he has one that's great. It's like a pear.
Jason Brown says Covino is never wrong.
That's true.
And Jason Brown is? Oh, that's laughable.
I mean,
this guy thinks that everything he says is gospel.
I mean, you guys are equally, well, he does go to church. He does go to church.
Okay, but hold on.
Jason Brown!
For him to say that is ridiculous. He thinks that everything he says is absolutely correct. I'm telling you that I was wrong and that I have to be more open-minded and maybe give these a shot. If 70% of people said that these were okay. I never saw my butt. I never went to a friend's house. Bro, fucking Steelers, Chiefs, let's go. And saw him wearing fluffy socks. I would have been like, well, bro, you wearing your wife's socks?
Then
and he would have to go,
then you should have been here this weekend.
I would have been confused by that. I'd be confused by that. But now that we had this open conversation, I have to understand that, I think I'm going to a car fucking show with Alex Berman. He shows up in fluffy socks. It's okay. Next time I've never seen it. If it's so okay, why is everybody hiding it? If it's so okay, how come in my 45 years of existence, I've never seen a dude wearing no socks? Ever.
Well, how often are you with guys in the comfort of their own home, like when they're in their alone time?
I've never seen
other than like your
people.
buddies.
You're right. I've never seen people in their home. Ever. On a ski trip, I could see that. I could see that. Time and a place. Ski trip, could see that.
Hold on. I know I'm wrong a lot. Stop projecting. That's Jason.
Projecting? He's the one that said it. He said, I'm never wrong in caps.
I think your feet have just never been cold enough. That's from Lisa. You're wearing your shitty-ass gold toe screen doors.
I got a draft in my socks as we speak. I just thought that shit was funny as hell.
I agree, too. I think that the more interesting point is how companies have really tackled this over the last, I would say, 20 years. The fucking dude wipes. You know what? Guys are too good to wipe their ass. All right. What do you got a stank ass and a fucking shit ass. Use a baby wipe? No, I don't use baby wipes. Those are for fucking children. Know what I use? Dude wipes.
Yeah, but maybe dude wipes are more.
Here's your fluffy socks.
More for men, meaning like they're of a higher caliber.
Dude wipes are a higher caliber.
I don't know.
They're
but
baby
they
wipes.
Well.
They're baby wipes branded as dude wipes,
Maybe there's something in it
instead
for a
of
man's
like
ass. Maybe they're a little stronger, so your finger doesn't rip through. I don't know what the fuck the
stronger
thinking
for
is
a
behind
man's
that.
ass.
Dude wipes. I don't like anything marketed with dude or man.
Yeah,
to be honest.
like I said though, for instance, it used to be like
I said, I don't like those shoes. Hey dudes, because I don't like dude in my branding.
Yeah, but you also like man caves is sort of lame. You've
I
always
don't
made
like
fun of that.
man in my branding. I don't feel the need the way you're making that out that I'm a sucker to that. And I'm really not as much as you're making it out to be, but I do find it to be interesting.
Men are suckers to that for the most part. Though.
I agree. I agree with that.
Look at like I was saying, candles. Spot's gonna make one. He was saying, and I guarantee it'll sell to guys like you. It's like he's like, I think I'm gonna make a
leather,
like a leather bourbon one.
Leather.
And guys will be like, oh, a candle. You got a candle? No, it's a leather bourbon candle.
Oh, yeah.
Leather bourbon.
But what is wrong?
I'm not saying
no one
wrong
ever
with it.
addresses the fucking flip side of what's wrong with a man wanting to be a man.
No, it smells better. A cookie candle.
Oh, but I'm supposed to be like, yeah, bro, I love a cookie candle too. But I'm supposed to be like, that's manly today. I guess that's a little manly.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's funny how the shoe has flipped the script. Where
do you mean the sock?
Marshmallow cookie guy is the man who makes fun of the dude who likes manly things. That's living in the opposite, Jason Brown, Alex Berman.
Aren't you the guy aren't you the guy that was promoting the diaper dude bag back in the day?
Yeah, when I need it, I don't like that branding. I don't like it. I don't like it. I got a bag for free. I don't like any branding with dude or man in it. It's corny.
And I'm not going to say there is something to be said about it is something to be said about it's cool that they have masculine brands. And yeah, a guy shouldn't smell like fucking rose petals. I agree 100%. That's why they have men's scents and women's scents, perfumes, colognes. I'm just saying, if you don't think it's a pandering to guys not like you.
Is it a pandering or is it appropriate though in a lot of times?
Both. But if you don't think it's pandering that Dove puts out a loofah, but then they also put out like a man body detailer.
I think the pandering's opposite. Like, no, if you want to wear your woman's perfume, go right ahead. Go right ahead, Skippy.
You don't think
that's pandering?
You don't think it's pandering for them to take a loofah and decide to change the color of it and call it a man scrubber because that's pandering and great marketing. It's a fucking loofah. You scrub your dead skin cells.
Different. There's a real rough side on the opposite side.
Ah, the rough side.
For your fucking man feet.
Manly is an overused term for sure.
I don't like that. I don't. You guys are too comfortable wearing, I think you're too comfortable, to be honest. I think there's a middle ground. I know you don't want to hear that, but I was admitting that I was wrong. I'm part of the 30% that said no fucking way. I never thought of it. I bet you it's like Crocs, right? If you put your feet in them, you're like, oh, okay. I get it now.
Yeah.
These are comfy.
I feel that way about
Jordan was
Crocs.
like, try them on. I'm like, fuck, get out of here.
That would be a big change.
Can I ever look at my
imagine if you're sitting around watching The Bachelor with Crocs on 10 years ago, you would hate you.
I would hate me. So again, I could see myself in a cabin after a long day of skiing, putting on like a masculine looking pair, like a cabin pair, say something masculine on it, like wolf knives.
That's masculine.
Yeah. Put my foot in it.
Wolf
like,
knives.
Man ass. Yeah. Some fucking masculine Tootsie warmers. So anyway, it just never dawned on me. That's the kind of
You know
guy
what?
I am.
You would want wolf knives? Know what I'm down with? Bunny spoons.
Yeah, but that's which is fine.
No, I'm joking.
But
But I'm
how
saying
could a guy who's into bunny spoons tell me I'm such a caveman? It's like, why? For being a guy? I'm
No,
sorry.
I'm
sorry. Here's the fucked
I'm
up
done
part
with
of
the
the whole
conversation. You win. I'm just saying.
I'm not trying to win. Masculinity is a dirty word nowadays, and you guys let that happen. All 70% of you, just for me being me. But me being me is like, wow, what a maniac.
And I mean, look at fucking Johnny Lawrence. He's
a cool guy. He's a little on PC. I'm not saying that's okay.
I mean, cool guy
Yeah,
or
he's a
like
cool guy.
funny character? Cool guy or funny
I think he's
character?
fucking awesome.
In real life, if that guy dated one of your sisters, what would you say?
I think he's cool as hell. I think
A
he's
guy that's
great.
been arrested, an
Not-
alcoholic, a drunk driver,
I'm
a guy
talking about-
the guy
I'm
that
talking
has
about
no
his
real job and helps
interests.
karate
I'm talking
kids.
about the things he's
No,
into,
no, but-
his mentality.
No.
Not the fact that he's a drunk.
Johnny
You know,
Lawrence.
Why? Oh, drunk? Only masculine dudes are drunks?
No. I'm asking you a question.
Okay.
And you're fucking doing all this other fucking conversation.
I mean, you're painting in broad
Johnny
strokes.
Lawrence.
Yeah.
If you, in real life, I fucking love Cobra Kai. I love his character.
Yeah.
But real talk. Is Johnny Lawrence a winner?
No.
He's a loser.
But he has a good heart.
But he's an old school masculine
And he's a
guy.
cool guy.
And what did he name his karate dojo when he needed to in a jam?
Eagle Fang.
That's why it's like appeal of Eagle Fang. Like you're Johnny Lawrence.
I think because it's fucking cool. I'm sorry. Miyagi-Do's corny.
Eagle Fang. Hey, let's just agree.
Masculinity is a dirty word. Not all masculine things are toxic masculinity. And that's what every fucking what was that? What'd you say you like? Cookie spoons?
No, I was joking that
Every
I
cookie spoon kind
I
of guy
applaud Jason
tries
Ellis.
to make it
I
out as.
applaud Jason Ellis.
Why?
I applaud Jason Ellis because wolf knives
Yeah.
is very masculine and badass, right? Wolf knives sounds cool.
Yeah, I was giving him
I agree.
props.
If-
I was shouting out Ellis.
Wolf knives is a very masculine sounding thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that I'm down with bunny spoons. I'm just saying wolves and knives are two very masculine things.
Okay.
So wolf knives together, of course.
Then I want to end it on
That's
this
all.
point.
I agree
For
with you.
years
You're right.
and years,
You're right.
I'm not trying to be right, douchebag. For penis breath. For years and years and years.
You are Johnny
the wolf
Lawrence.
knives
You
guy,
are Johnny Lawrence.
The wolf knives
Penis
guy
breath.
always put down fucking bunny spoons, right?
Yeah.
And that's not right, and it wasn't okay. Okay? Like, whatever, foofy, wolf knives. Foofy fucking bunny spoon guy. But now we live in a world where bunny spoon guy is making fun of, like, masculine guy. And it's like, well, why the fuck is that? As long as you're not being a douchebag about it, then why is that an issue? But, like, bunny spoon has this weird fucking swag about them. Like, yeah, well, if you're not doing what we do, then you must be a homophobe. It's like,
Bunny spoons.
I don't think so.
Bunny
At all.
spoons.
But yeah, I mean, there's a middle ground. There is a middle ground.
Of course, man. Yo, listen, Jason Brown.
Everything is backwards and everything is upside down.
You are
so
the
guys
most,
should wear fluffy socks, I guess.
You are the heel in Covino's life now, Jason Brown. I love it.
Not at all. I love it.
balance is key.
I'm the first guy that gave him props. I spent 15 minutes talking about how great his vows were this weekend. How was that?
I feel good.
Yeah.
All right, man. Oh, you know what? This is actually an appropriate time to bring up something else because it's
Fuzzy
ties in.
socks.
Fuzzy socks. Love it. By the way,
Fuzzy britches.
fuzzy britches. Old fuzzy britches. I don't even know what that means. Old fuzzy britches. If anyone knows what old fuzzy britches means, please hit us up. I love masculine guys. Oh, this is your mom. Unless it's your dad saying he loves masculine guys. I love masculine guys. Nothing wrong, but you should be confident in who you are no matter what. Yeah, I agree. Your mom's right there. Let's see.
I'm not wearing my girlfriend's socks. Sorry. If that makes me insecure or like some sort of like weird cave guy, then I guess that's what I am. Sorry, guys. Sorry for being a fucking cave boy. Cave boy. Because I won't wear my girlfriend's fuzzy lavender socks.
From now on, I will refer to you as Cave Boy.
Yeah. Why don't I wear the little fucking ankle socks with the ball at the end, with the puffy ball at the end? Because they're for women.
They're designed for women. I get it. Listen, I agree. Listen. I don't like when my wife puts my son's hair in a man bun because I'm over it. Because I'm like, yo, stop it. He's a little boy.
There
Like,
might be a point in time where
I get
but
it.
I'm not of that time.
I'm not this. I'm not like a super. I definitely, clearly, my love of booty and my escapade ways as a young man. I don't disagree. There's very important elements of masculinity. I just think you and I are different in that where I choose my masculinity usually revolves around like women, sexuality, and like sports and shit. But when it comes to like stupid shit like socks, I'll wear fucking girl socks just because. Like, I don't give a fuck. Anyway.
And there's confidence in that too.
I mean,
it
like,
just never dawned on me. That's
trust
all.
me. Like, I think, you know what I think is wild to me? And you could say this is even more stupid.
The West.
The West is wild. Know what I think is even more stupid? But I'll bring it up.
Bill Hickok.
He is wild. What's even more
The
wild?
Water Kingdom.
Wild. The Water Kingdom. Fucking wild. You know what's even more wild? Now, you could say it's not his interest and he's not here to defend himself. But like, I think it's, if you talk about masculine, feminine, staying in the loop on things, I think it's fucking completely wild that Spot probably did not watch 1 minute of the 5 football games yet. He has a role at Fox and works on a guy radio show. Like, I think like you could talk about masculinity and traits of being a man in different ways. Like the NFL playoffs
Yeah, it
happen.
doesn't
Like,
make none of these things
different
make
elements.
you
Like,
a man.
yeah, like there's people that are like, change your own oil. Like, do you think that makes you a man? Like, what everyone
No.
thinks is a man is different.
I think actually, you know, someone in my family's been ranting this whole fucking day. But I do agree with, as long as you're confident in who you are and what you're doing, I think that makes you a man. You can wear fluffy, fuzzy socks and own them. And a guy like me might roll their eyes and question it, but if you're owning that shit, then that makes you a man.
Look at
I
Joe
do agree
Burrow's
with that.
sunglasses to make it full circle.
There you go.
All right. This is actually appropriate based on this conversation, to be honest. By the way, what do you think about this? While I'm pulling up this article, Jamie Lynn Spears saying that she's not going on a book tour because it's not about money or fame. It's about her healing. Why would you write a fucking tell-all book about your fucking wacky family and Britney Spears if it wasn't about the money? Then isn't it like fucking, why are you fucking publishing that shit?
It's healing, bro.
But you buy that shit?
I don't buy any of this shit because everything is fucking backwards.
I know, but I wrote a book.
Period.
I wrote a tell-all book about my fucking celebrity weird family. But it's not about the money. Not about the money? What is it about then? Why on earth would you sit down and write a book about your dysfunctional
I feel like
celebrity family?
The only person that would believe that horse shit is someone wearing fuzzy socks. That someone's not me because I'm not about the bullshit.
Yeah. I don't like, again, like I said, masculine and feminine traits come in all shapes and sizes. Some people could say, oh, you don't fix a car, you don't fix your shit, you don't know how to put up a ceiling fan. What are you, a woman? Then other people would say, like, some guy might be able to do that, but that other guy doesn't even know how to throw a fucking spiral. What's a masculine trait? That's for you to decide, right? I mean, think of it that way. All right. There's a list I found that I think is appropriate because we're talking about the culture in which we live now versus 10, 20 years ago. This all came up because we were talking about old you versus new you, masculinity. 10, 20 years ago, companies realized
things change.
Realized, wow, we need to really start catering to men because if you make a face scrub.
Oh, maybe if they called them scruffy socks, then I'll wear them.
Oh, scruffy socks.
Scruffy socks.
Scruffy
Oh,
socks.
when you feel a little scruffy. I might have to brand those bad boys. Scruffy socks.
Honestly, think about it.
Hey,
Yo, face cream?
I'm missing out.
Face cream?
Yeah.
Bottle it differently? Men need moisturizer too. But yeah, it's marketing, right? So there's a list.
I'd rather moisturize than have Russell Crowe's feet.
These are toxic 2000s TV and film moments that would never be tolerated today.
Okay.
Do you want to roll our eyes at this together? 2000s, late 90s and 2000s fashion may be making a comeback. But the 2000s weren't just boot-cut jeans, overplucked eyebrows, and tube tops. Gen Z, beware. The 2000s were full of racism, homophobia, and such being used as punchlines, slut-shaming, and more. Here are moments in the 2000s that, in 2022, would not fly. Number 1. I'm going in reverse order. I'm starting at number 1 because it's a list. It's not,
number 1.
It's not a countdown. Spider Harrison, if it's a countdown, you go in reverse. List, you go in order. Number 1, portraying Michael Oher as the dumb beneficiary of white saviors in the movie Blindside. Portraying Sandra Bullock's character as like saving the young black kid. Meanwhile,
But isn't that like
based
kinda
on a
what
true
happened?
story?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're saying, well, based on a heartwarming true story of a black teenager being adopted by a white family and going on to become an NFL Super Bowl champion, the movie was a well-acted white savior play. Or making it look like Oher was undereducated and he made it out solely because of white help.
Maybe it was. I'd have to watch it from that lens. But I remember it as a white family helping out an underprivileged black kid, and it turned out to be a great story. But
What if
I'd have to rewatch that movie.
What if they were called
But
bear?
it's a
What if they were
shame.
called bear socks and they had claws on them? Bear socks.
Like I like that. I like that. Jason
Sorry.
Brown, let's fucking get some of those and rock them together.
The stereotype of the Asian group of girls in Mean Girls.
Well, hold on. What's your thought on that? I
Oh,
hate
my
when you
thought-
fucking throw
I
things
was just
up
asking-
and then you like let me out to dry like I'm the weird guy.
No,
what about you?
I watched the movie and I thought that if it was based on a true story, yeah, there was there.
So
there,
isn't it a shame that they would spin it that way?
What they did, what it did lack though was the idea that like, well, there was something in it for this family. Like it's like they have this like superstar like.
Well, they didn't know he was going to be an NFL fucking player. Can't predict that. I mean, the fact that he was 7 foot tall. I mean, weighed 300 pounds. I mean, that was.
I mean, didn't you say you wanted to go to the Dominican Republic and scout some great young baseball players to adopt?
Yes. Does that make me a bad person? I don't know. But hold on.
Or Michael Oher himself said the movie wasn't accurate and made him look dumb and helpless.
Okay, well then, if that's the case, there's not much I could say about it.
Oh, yeah. What about the eye-rolling scene when she went to the projects and threatened the drug dealers and they were like scared? Like, do you really think Sandra Bullock's character in real life went to the hood and was like, you leave my Michael Oher alone? Like, made it look like she was like the white hero. I can see it. I'm just saying, this is the list.
Okay.
Things that wouldn't fly in 2022.
White saviors.
White saviors in Blindside. The Asians in Mean Girls, number 2 on the list, from 2004. In the movie Mean Girls, they go to that group of Asian girls, and it's stereotypical and racist. They're not real Koreans or Vietnamese, but they're speaking They're and apparently, like, continuity-wise, they're all different types of Asians, and they're speaking the wrong languages. Like, everything about it is
Inaccurate.
Like, it just inaccurate diss at Asians. What about this one? Because this is an interesting one because I feel like this is us.
This is us?
Oh, by the way, last season,
You wear your fuzzy socks when you watch that
I
show?
cry and wear my fuzzy socks. I'm doubly gay.
Like a man to you?
You're like, he wears fuzzy socks and he cries?
No, I wear Beast aftershave.
And by the way, I said gay because number 3 on the list is in the early 2000s, Joey Tribbiani on Friends. Many of the jokes that were made were his reactions to something gay, and he was always startled, so it showed Joey's inner homophobia. But that was like so many punchlines in old school shows. Like, that was the whole joke of Three's Company. Like, Jack Tripper would be like, hey, Mr. Furley, and he'd be like, I mean, like, the idea
Does it have to be? I don't know because I haven't watched Friends.
sensitive.
But was it gay or was it like foofy?
Sensitive, jovial Joey is a wannabe actor in New York City. We all know this from watching Friends, which means he should be surrounded by plenty of gay folks in that culture. However, when Ross and Rachel hire a gay nanny, Joey reveals a blatant bigotry that the show treats as funny and normal. Anytime Joey made some type of joke or reference being like almost like scared or taken aback by gay people,
Yeah.
it was punctuated by a laugh track and a punchline. But that was like every show back then.
I mean, there's two ways to look at that too, though. Like, it's based on his ignorance, so it makes it kind of funny. But let's remember what this list was: things that wouldn't fly today. So, yeah, that wouldn't fly today. So I
just
guess
saying,
I agree.
I'm not saying I agree with this list. I'm just saying
No, but that really wouldn't fly today, right?
Yeah.
Like, that would be like, what a dummy. Now, how's that funny? That's a little.
Ooh, this goes into your manly
homophobic.
conversation. The movie, I never saw this movie in its entirety. Maybe I watched it with like an ex or something, but I know of the movie. John Tucker Must Die.
Yeah,
Is that like the womanizing guy and he gets caught and they something like that? I don't know. But shaming men for expressing emotion. Remember when they snuck ladies' man John Tucker estrogen pills and it made him really emotional? And then he was mocked throughout the whole movie when he was emotional. Like mocking an emotional
I don't
man.
appreciate what Bill Jackson's saying here. And again, if you're saying things publicly, I could address you publicly. Covino is 100% Joey Tribbiani. He just explained how this dude was homophobic. That's how he's perceived. If you think I'm homophobic, 100%, Bill, then you don't know me at all. And you're an idiot. I'm sorry. If you're going to call me that, then I can call you that. So we're even. Continue. Because he just went on this whole thing how you think that I have some sort of weird preconceived notion that if someone was homosexual that they're going to make a pass at me just because they're gay like Joey did on the show?
I think
That's ridiculous.
I think back in the 90s and 2000s though, gay was always an easy punchline. Fucking Spot still does it today.
It's an easy punchline that
It's
we
an easy
did,
punchline that Spot wouldn't do in mainstream media, but Spot does here all the time. Every time someone says something, Spot's like, licking your ass. Like, it's the low-hanging dumb joke from the 90s and 2000s that guys always used, and some still do. How about in the movie What Women Want with Mel Gibson? When dads or older men would patrol the virginity of their daughters. Like that mindset of you're not going out on a date, you're not having sex, you're not anything. The idea of
How old are they in the movie?
Like a teenager.
I mean, you're not supposed to be a fucking protective parent?
Well, the movie isn't as bad as it could be considering the era. Nick teaches his daughter that boys are only out for one thing and don't have sex.
I don't know. I'm on Team Mel Gibson here in this movie, not with his anti-Semitism in this movie. Bill, do we get that right? So I'm not like Mel Gibson, the guy, but I'm like Mel Gibson, the character in this movie, I guess.
What about Samantha on Sex and the City?
Okay.
There was an episode.
But hold on, do you think it's wrong to tell your daughter stay away from? You do?
Yeah, I do.
What do you do?
I don't
Encourage
know. My
them to
daughter's
fucking
4. I have 10 years to think about it.
Okay, so then how could think about it?
Oh, all right.
You think it's
I
okay
don't
to
think,
encourage?
I don't think. No, but I don't think I'm going to be like, don't have sex with guys. It's bad.
But you're not going to try to keep her.
I'm going to teach her that. I'm going to teach her to make the right decisions. I'm going to make her hold that to a high standard. I mean,
you can't force these things.
Like,
but you're going to try.
I mean, are you dumb? Not dumb, but are you dumb enough to think your daughter's not going to have sex as a teenager?
I mean, I don't want to think about it, but I'm going to do my best to
be real. Is your daughter going to have teenage sex?
I would say probably, but I'm going to do my best to.
If she does, then your job is to make her at least choose the fucking right person.
Yeah.
Like if you
but
teenager,
to act like there's no concern.
But
I mean, fools.
You're a fool to think your teenage daughter's not going to have sex. What you then do is say, well, I know she's going to have sex, so hopefully it's with a good high school sweetheart guy that's a good kid that
I'm just saying,
is a nice boy.
Hopefully it's just one person, right?
Yeah,
kids today rolling a weird
who knows?
Could be a whole fucking crazy.
Be
scene.
safe and get them on birth control. You don't want to be a grandpa to a teenage kid's. All right. What else? Oh, Samantha on Sex and the City. There was a story arc where Samantha very rarely interacts with people of color, but then goes on a little, I guess, spree where she's into black men. And they're saying it's reverse racism. She started to become way into black guys, as a fetish. And they're saying that would be a little questionable now. The idea of a white woman with a black guy. That just playing up that as a taboo thing is it went from taboo fetish to why would we even acknowledge
it shouldn't be a thing. It
but
just is.
Samantha's whole thing she likes black guys now, that wouldn't be a thing.
Again, wouldn't be appropriate today. Yeah, I agree. But was it inappropriate then?
Hold on, this guy's so dumb, Jesus. You know what?
Getting a lot of interesting feedback.
No, you know what? Not dumb.
And Bill Jackson was saying I was wrong.
Jesus isn't dumb. You know what it is? I think Covino and I are both sort of just the feedback recently. I don't know why we're both equally agitated by feedback because I think it's a sense of everyone's maybe extra amped up. Is that what it is? Possibly.
I mean, look what Bill's saying here. He's publicly coming at me. This is a two-way street, dude. I never even said what you're quoting right now. I'd love for you to find it.
So my point is, Jesus said, 10 years to think about it. Who would be okay with their kid being sexually active at 14? I said my daughter's 4. I got 10 years to think about it. If you don't think kids start thinking and talking about sexuality when they're 14, try probably even younger, sadly. 14.
Talking about it way before
14 is 8th grade, I believe. You aren't kissing girls and like trying to make moves when you're 8th and 9th grade. You're trying to tell me when you're a freshman in high school, you're not
And
trying to
things
like,
are way
you're not
more
trying to
advanced
like,
now.
yeah, you're not trying to hook
I
up
was
with girls.
doing that math recently. I was like, if I got my first kiss at 14 and kids are moving way faster than we did, then, you know.
Dude, I mean, I remember 6th grade was when, 5th and 6th grade when they got the rumors of like who was making out on the playground. Like the first kids had their kisses in like 5th or 6th grade. So this guy thinks like, what is he? Is he the guy that thinks his kids are not going to hook up until they're 19?
Yeah, but I feel like I never saw the movie, but a parent being concerned, like there's funny in that. Like, is it appropriate today? I mean, why is being protective of your kid not appropriate?
Duke's a hazard with the Confederate flag. That's self-explanatory. Okay, that's good. Rob Schneider being a Chinese wedding minister in I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry. There's homophobic and racist jokes because they're two straight guys dancing around the idea that they're not gay, but they have to pretend to be gay. So it's a lot of like gay humor. Mm-hmm. And Rob Schneider is not Asian, but he plays a Chinese minister. So
yes, he is Asian, so that's incorrect. Rob Schneider is Filipino. So,
but he's not Chinese.
So what?
He plays a Chinese wedding minister.
He's still of Asian background.
Oh, here's a good one. Ted Mosby on How I Met Your Mother rejected a girl because she used to be overweight. The cherry on top of this story was that
it wouldn't be okay.
He met a girl, found out she used to be fat, and Barney convinced him, you don't want to date a fluctuator.
Again, it wouldn't fly today.
Yeah.
That's the list. It wouldn't. People would be uproaring to cancel that show.
By the way, a lot of feedback about Spin the Bottle was like a 4th or 5th grade thing.
Not for me. It wasn't. I'm not saying I wasn't into girls at that time. I was. But I was not doing that.
I was hoping to do it.
Not in 5th grade. No, that's true. I wanted to get with Samantha Fox. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with her. But
I remember the first real crushes. When you really think about it, like when you were like, man, I want to make out with that girl. I want to hold her hand. I don't know what I want to do with her, but I want to. Yeah.
Like 6th grade.
6th grade, because I remember being so jealous.
Started in 5th grade. I knew I was into girls in kindergarten. That's a true story.
Yeah, but it's.
But like,
well, I guess you're super masculine.
I know. I'm so sorry.
You're super masculine. You knew, actually, didn't you know when you were 1?
I'm so sorry that.
Why are you in a diaper and you're like, wow, chicks, babes?
So sorry, guys, that I knew I liked girls when I.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
You were 2 years old and you're like,
I'm too straight for my own good.
Babes.
Sorry about
titties.
that.
Yeah,
sorry for being a straight guy, Bill. Yeah. Sorry.
I think.
But that's the truth. 5th, 6th grade is when you started to think
I think even before that, you might have had a crush, but like you've always pointed out, you didn't know what you wanted to do with him. You just know you were like, she's pretty.
Hold hands or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember being like,
so I sniff her hair.
Man, Jessica, she's pretty. But I remember being very jealous in 6th grade. Yeah. One of my friends kissed. And when I say kiss, it wasn't even makeup, probably just a peck on the lips. Like, he kissed Vanessa Lombardo on the school playground.
Sounds hot.
And Vanessa Lombardo was like the hot Italian chick in my we graduated together in high school too. But in 6th grade, my buddy Walter kissed Vanessa. And I remember being like, motherfucker, I'm so jealous of her. But then, you know what? 7th, 8th grade, I'd go to a roller skating rink, hot skates, and I would try to couple skate with like cute girls. I'd go to the mall. We'd try to talk to girls like in the food court. So like 8th grade. Yeah. So I don't know what people are thinking. Maybe it's changed. I think if anything, it's younger.
Yeah, I agree. Unfortunately, I agree with that.
So let's see. What about,
especially now that kids are in constant communication, we as kids didn't really have a rap yet. These kids already built their rap online.
Fat shaming in white chicks. The girl's nickname was Cellulite Sally.
Ooh.
And they also were insensitive to the anxieties of rich white women.
On How I Met Your Mother?
No, on white chicks.
Oh.
Remember they went out to like the Hamptons for that fundraiser? That's like the way the movie, like they made fun of like the anxieties of rich women. The entire premise of the movie Shallow Hal, number 11 on the list. The entire premise.
Well,
Shallow
hold on.
Hal.
On the
has
flip
hot-
side, did you say this? Would it be okay or appropriate for anyone to dress up as white women?
You know what?
Because there's a double standard.
Yeah,
there.
I guess so. You're allowed to go whiteface. You can't go blackface, though.
All right,
But that makes sense, though. There was never.
It doesn't make sense because, I mean, let's be consistent. I understand one.
But the history of one
has history and one doesn't.
Yeah,
but
there's never a
two wrongs
history
don't
of
make it right.
But there's no wrong in the whiteface. A blackface could be mocking.
So you could just still mock somebody, though.
All right, let's see. The entire premise of Shallow Hal. Jack Black has standards that are, quote, too high. So he has to be put under a spell to be attracted to larger women because there's no way he could ever be attracted to larger women.
It's a fucking comedy, though. But
To
you're
learn
right.
about his own shallowness, he needs to be put under a spell.
It would never fly today.
You need to be thin to be attractive? This whole movie is a problem. Jack Black in Shallow Hal, that's number 11 on the list.
It's a problem for today.
I mean, I assume people listen to the show.
What happens in the future, though? If it airs on TV at all, or if it airs anywhere, does it come with a disclaimer?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And by the way, I know people usually listen on their own time or on demand. So when you say, if you're just joining us, is usually not how people listen to a podcast. So again, though, this is the BuzzFeed list of moments in the 2000s that less than 20 years later just would not fly. This is a good one, number 12. Some of these I disagree with because it's just a reflection of the times and it's all eye-rolly, but this one's a good one. Filming Nadia, the exchange student, nude without her consent for the whole school to see in American Pie. That is a crime.
A fucking crime.
Remember when the guy secretly planted a camera and filmed a foreign exchange student undressing without her permission?
I mean, that's like every 80s premise, right?
A little hole in a locker room wall.
Come here. Everybody's looking. I mean,
you're allowed to love these movies, by the way. I'm not telling anyone
but we thought
these
it was
movies
wrong.
are bad or wrong. I'm
we
just saying
knew it was wrong then. We just didn't lose we were just so sensitive now.
I don't know if it's
It's not that you thought it was right.
I
You
don't
just
know.
rolled with it.
No, not that I
Did you think it was right to spy on people?
No, I didn't
and
think it was
broadcast
right. But looking back, though, I think it did make people think, oh, it's not that bad. And I'm not being politically correct. I'm saying, like, the reality is some of these are stupid. Like, yeah, Shallow Hal. He's a shallow guy. He doesn't like overweight women. That's normal, right? But we were convinced, though, Covino,
Yeah.
to think it was okay for them to fucking plant a camera on a fucking girl getting undressed on the internet. That literally is a crime.
I thought it was okay.
That is a crime. Yeah, but it was like comedically funny.
I thought it was comedically funny.
Of course, because it was.
So then we lost our sense of humor a little bit.
All right, Fat Monica from the TV show Friends. Fat shaming at its finest. Fat shaming in the 2000s, everything from the movie Love Actually to Friends to the movie Just Friends. Being fat was a punchline. And was it really that funny? I sort of was. Like fat Ryan Reynolds turned into like handsome Ryan Reynolds. Fat Monica on Friends. Love Actually, when Hugh Grant's like, oh, the chubby one? Like any fat joke, nope.
Yeah. Again, from today's standard, it just wouldn't go.
The characters in American Pie are clapping and screaming in celebration when she takes her clothes off on a hidden camera. That is true.
You know,
it was wrong, but yeah.
Think about this. If they were going to do a show on Covino and Rich's life, right? How would they handle the jokes we made and the way we behaved in the early 2000s? When I say we, I mean collectively.
Yeah.
You know, would we be portrayed as the bad guys?
Yeah, dude. You're a bad guy.
You know, or did times change and we adjusted? I think you're a bad guy if you didn't adjust a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's all. I mean, comedians talk about this all the time. Jim Jeffries, most famously, comedy in the form of stand-up comedy, movies, talk shows, podcasts, radio shows. There's a line. Your job as an effective performer is to toe that line. The line moves, but you can only be judged by where the line was when the content was made. Right? I mean, if here's the line for content in 2005, That's where you're judged for 05 content. You can't take a 2022 lens and judge content from 2009. You judge it based on where the line was in 2009.
So then that poses the question, though, like, how do you do a timepiece now?
You know what? It's interesting.
All right. So if you're going to make a movie in 2022 about the 2000s, how do you depict these people without making them seem like bad people?
No, you make them seem
when
like
they're
bad people. That's what they do, though, I'm saying.
But that's fucked up because that was where the line was then.
Yeah. Like for instance, like if you watch any timepiece, they're never going to, if someone was racist or gayist or anything in like the 60s, that person is automatically a bad guy in the movie. Like it's not like if someone told like a bad joke, they can never be a good guy in the movie. Now, here's another How I Met Your Mother one. And by the way, How I Met Your Mother probably, what would you say, top 3?
Probably why Rich liked the show so much.
Because I'm a bad guy.
So on PC.
By the way, top 3 show of the 2000s as far as popularity syndication, you would say? How I Met Your Mother?
Yes, one of the most popular.
Probably, right?
Yeah.
That, Big Bang Theory, what else? Maybe that might, The Office, probably top 3. Raymond, maybe, but that's late 90s.
I never really watched Raymond either.
You do a great Raymond.
Ray Romano.
But How I
Nice
Met
guy.
Your Mother was like a CBS Monday night fucking heartfelt, amazing show. Barney Stinson. Everything about the character.
But that was also supposed to be the character.
Secretly filming all his sexcapades.
The naked guy.
Having homemade pornos. The naked guy where he suggested, and Robin did it too. The woman, like the whole idea of like, you know, it's a good gimmick. When your date goes to the bathroom, get naked. And when they come back, you're just standing there naked. That would not fly now. The naked guy?
No.
White savior syndrome, again, in All or Nothing. Bring it on. I don't know that one. But like everything was going bad until a white person
Oh,
saved
you
it.
white saviors. You should be embarrassed.
In the
I
movie,
don't know. I've never seen the movie.
In the movie House Bunny with Anna Faris, which I remember being funny. I only saw it once, but I remember it being funny.
I remember they showed her ass in that movie.
She looked good.
Yeah. I saw it too, but go ahead.
Apparently, Anna Faris teaching the smart girls at the sorority that they need to be dumb and sexy for men to like them. Because remember, she took over like the nerd sorority?
Yeah, but you know what? This is kind of sad. A lot of this is true,
Yeah.
right? Because it wouldn't fly today. I get it. But that's what made it a comedy, right? It wasn't an actual depiction of life. It was a comedy. So, yeah, in the comedy, you need to be dumb and sexy for men to like you.
She was a
It's
former
comedy.
playmate, if you remember.
Yeah.
Anna Faris plays like a super hot ditzy, and she was in the best shape of her life for this. Could I say that? Is that it wrong? She looked fucking dynamite.
Yeah,
Anna
she
Faris was a former playmate in this, and she went to a college, and she found like the Dungeons and Dragons nerdy fucking glasses, flannel shirt wearing sorority that was like losing their money or house or something. It was like, how do we save the sorority? It was like a dumb rated R fun comedy, and the whole point, she got them all sexy and hot and changed their image. And apparently that was teaching women they need to be dumb and sexy for men to like them.
Yeah, look, I guess it's wrong. Of course,
This
it's
one
wrong.
this one
but
shouldn't
it
even
doesn't-
this one shouldn't even be on the list because it's the last one on the list, but it's a dumb one because that was the whole point of the show. If the point of the show is inappropriateness, then is it even inappropriate? Michael Scott on The Office. The amount of harassment and inappropriateness he got away with at the actual office. But that was the whole premise of the show, so you can't even, this shouldn't even be on the list. He's supposed to be the cringeworthy boss that we all
but
love to hate.
What you're saying applies to 80% of the list that you just read. Because, yeah, it was supposed to be a comedy. Some of it, again, is way off color for today's standards.
You ever hear some of the racist or sexist or any jokes Michael Scott tells? It's all because he's like a dummy that doesn't realize that. That's the whole point of the show. He's like a lovable doofus. Like, because you know he has a good heart, but he says like stereotypical stuff.
Yeah. I've watched it.
Come on, The Office is great.
Never really got into it. I tried, though. But I've watched a lot of it because Jordan watched the whole thing recently, so I absorbed it.
The Office.
So
Great show.
Thank you. Hey, that's a great list. And I agree with 100% of it wouldn't fly today.
No.
But then again, what flies today? I don't know.
And by the
knows?
way, people are, just read the first comment. They're like, if you analyze any of this, they could all be dissected the other way. Like literally, House Bunny, the whole premise was she got them all sexy and hot. They felt confident, but then they taught her that they're best off being themselves. Like a lot of these had lessons too, right? I don't know. Oh man, the internet. I wonder sometimes if
the internet.
I wonder sometimes if the internet
You
wasn't
said it.
around. If the internet wasn't around, what the world would be like. Did the internet slowly but surely start taking us down?
Yeah, big time. I
But-
mean, it's a blessing and a curse.
But if there was no internet,
it's like what I was trying to explain to my mom about OnlyFans. I'm like, much like the internet, Mom, it's meant for good, but used for evil. What is OnlyFans? Well, Mom, it's just another platform for women to show their tatties.
hold on. I think I have it right here, right? Your mom.
Babe, what does OnlyFans mean? Or is that what you guys say? OnlyFans? OnlyFans? What does that mean?
No, what does that mean?
I mean, it's like the internet, Mom. It's meant for good.
OnlyFans.
Meant for, just another platform to do good things. But it's used for bad. The internet, man, it really changed society as a whole. I mean, that's the understatement of the day. But I can't disagree with the original premise of that article, which was
Things
it wouldn't fly today.
that wouldn't fly today. What else you got today? What's on your mind on a holiday? Martin Luther King Day.
Let's
Most
not
people
let
have
that
most
go
people have
understated.
most people have all off today. I guess we decided to do a show today.
Martin Luther King Day. Kids are off from school. Melody's home waiting for me to make her breakfast probably. Nah, she's probably still
Emmy's
sleeping.
finally going back to school tomorrow.
Is she? All right. I like Martin Luther King Day.
A week and a half off because of the vid.
Yeah. Why? Really? I thought they shortened down the quarantine rules.
No, it was like Emmy's school couldn't staff because the
okay.
like they were like, yeah, the kids are fine, but like they didn't have enough teachers. You guess I think at schools, what is the rule? Like for certain places, you need how many teachers per how many kids? And they're like, yeah, the week everyone's got the week off.
Couldn't staff it.
Come back Tuesday after Martin Luther King Day, and I was like, a week.
He had a dream.
Yeah,
And that dream was cut short, and it's sad. We were actually at the hotel where he got shot. It was creepy vibes.
I remember it sort of stuck in that time.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It took you back to
The late 60s. It looked like the late 60s. Like,
it was untouched and weird, but I was glad to have seen it, and we stood by the memorial.
hey,
And
bro, am I wrong by saying that we were with? Don't tell me. Were we with Mike Durband and Eddie, your DJ, or who? Both? Is that possible?
yeah,
Because I feel like we went to Elvis's house.
Graceland.
Yeah, Graceland. No, but we remember like not just Graceland, his house. Remember like the gate by the house?
Yeah.
We were at Graceland, but then we also drove to get Gus's fried chicken.
Yeah.
And I remember hanging with Mike Durband and Eddie, your DJ, and it was like, yo, there it is. And I was like, yo, it looks like
moment
it was
stuck in
frozen
time.
in time, like frozen. Like, you know the sad reality? You ever see like a TV show where it's like some kid gets killed in a movie and the parents don't change their room? Like
Yeah,
the
that's
room is
sad.
still stuck in.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Some 2020 special.
Yeah,
They
like
show
this
the
is-
room, and it's like
this is
stuck
Jackie.
in the 80s.
This is Jackie's room. We haven't changed it since '83, and it's like,
Still
oh,
like a poster of Rob Lowe on the wall. It's like,
yo, it's a creepy, weird vibe at that hotel.
Yeah.
It does kind of hit you. Lonnie's right. Covino and I looked at each other like, ooh, I got the chills. Like it's fucking
it
weird.
was awesome to see, though. We paid our respects, and I always think it's cool. Like one of my first, like taking my kid to school memories was Melody's. Like one of her first assignments, I remember her bringing home was like this thing she did on Martin Luther King, and we honor him today, Martin Luther King. I even scrubbed this morning with my Martin Luther King
Extra nipple scrub too.
extra manly
Yeah.
loofah sponge is what I used. But shout out to Martin Luther King on this day.
Yeah,
Enjoy
yeah.
your day off and celebrate on his behalf. There's a few things that is better if Spot was here, but he's not.
Yeah.
But I'll bring it up just for the fun of your reaction, and we'll follow up tomorrow. We talked about Burroughs glasses. They're not manly. Sorry, guys.
Oh, someone
They're not
asked.
masculine.
Someone hit us up saying optically.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Yoenis Cespedes? What a fucking blast from the past that name is. Remember when Cespedes was on the disabled list, and then he was out golfing?
Yeah.
And all Mets fans were like,
Yeah.
motherfucker's golfing?
Bad look.
Yeah.
Even if it was okay. You know what I mean?
I don't care that Spot's not here, but for a guy that was like, I can't move my back for like 2 weeks, and he's like fucking posing and chilling in Joshua Tree, like, yo, what's up? And he took the day off.
Optically, yeah. It doesn't add up.
Optically, right? Someone's like, yo,
yeah. Optically, he looked like a disabled person last week.
Yeah, optically, Spot was like George McFly hanging upside down.
But in his defense, because he's not here,
Yeah.
he had this planned out, right? So, but
I'm just answering. I'm reading the feedback.
How's he playing golf?
I'm reading the feedback. Yeah,
How's he playing golf?
How's Spot doing?
How's he climbing anything?
How's he climbing mountains at Joshua Tree if like he couldn't move for 2 weeks and
He must be climbing Kristen's ass cheeks, because by the looks of him last week, he couldn't climb any sort of mountain.
Spinal.
Couldn't hike shit. But yeah, so since we're a spotless show, he'll be back tomorrow. We're gonna have to play this clip tomorrow, but you wanted to bring up the fact that there's a band that was like chanting my name out, and you thought it was so fucking hilarious.
Oh my God.
But it's so funny because it didn't even register to me as anything. And Rich was like, clearly we got to talk about that. I'm like, we do? Why?
Because there's a bunch of cool looking warlock dudes that are in a rock band.
Right. But why is this something that we needed to talk about?
I guess they're a band you play.
No, they're not. They're not. Eric, now, for those of you who don't know, Behind the Velvet Rope, Rich and I do music stuff on Sirius XM. You guys know that. But part of the gig that you might not be aware of, that you might not have consciously thought about, is when you work on radio stations or you're a host on a music channel, there's a lot of up-and-coming bands that are always hitting you up like, yo, man, who do I get my music to? Hey, dude, can you just take a listen and see if you can get it in the right hands? Or,
Can I tell you,
hey, what do you think? Especially in rock. I work in rock, though. So
No, dude, trust me, I get the same thing. And to be honest, the answer is always lame. And I never know how to kindly tell someone like, yo, I could email to Mikey Piff, but they got their own little formula. They do what they do. Like, I mean, I could tell them all day, like, yo, this is great, but they do what they do. Like, I could tell them all day that this is the fucking greatest song, and they'll be like, yeah, all right, we have our music meeting with the labels on Wednesdays, and yeah, I'm like, good luck.
So I'll give them props. The name of the band is Chasing Yesterday, right? Now, they're just one of many bands and many performers that hit me up on the regular. They're like, yo, man, check out my new video. Yo, what do you think? Yo, bro, can you like see if you can get this played on Octane or Turbo? Covino, you're the only guy that responds. And you know what I say to myself? Yet I'm the part-time guy? Go fuck yourself. Everyone else is too busy to respond to like people that are reaching out. Why the fuck am I wasting my time responding? Okay, because I'm trying to be a good guy. That's all. Even though I say no to fuzzy socks. And according to Bill, I'm a homophobe. But I'm the only guy that responds.
Wear fuzzy socks, he might change his mind.
Right?
Yeah.
To me, that's odd. So you mean to tell me all the other people I work with ignore you? They're so busy they ignore you.
It's possible.
Okay. So I get a lot of like musical acts that hit me up, and one of these guys.
And by the way, Alejandro, it's true though. But he goes, man, that sounds old school. People trying to give you their demo.
Yeah.
No, but it changed from here's my demo tape to, yo,
Here, check this link.
Here's a link. I sent you an
Check my
MP3 and there's a
video.
video I made to it. And yo, can you just give this to the right people? We need some buzz. I get that shit all
Now,
the time.
do I always click the link? No. Do I always try to respond? Yeah. If I see it, I'm like, yo, man, keep living the dream, bro. Martin Luther King had a dream. You got a dream. Fucking get him. Rock on. So this one band's super persistent lately. I don't know them from anybody. Where are they from? Chasing Yesterday. Let's look.
I'll look it up. You tell the story. Chasing Yesterday. Couple warlocks giving you. Yeah, hold on. Chasing Yesterday. Is this? Oh, it's a studio album. No, that's.
Well, they've been
Chasing
persistent
Yesterday band. Okay.
and consistent.
Chasing Yesterday is a song too and an album, so it's confusing. By,
You know what's cool about them too, though? There's something about being
Houston.
They're from Houston?
Houston based.
So they're a Texas band, right? And some people have a good knack of being persistent without being annoying. And that's what they've been to me. Some people are just annoying. And you need to find that balance. Right? Hitting somebody up constantly every day and being annoying about it's never going to work. So they're like, yo, bro, please take a listen, man. Take a listen. I think you'll like it, dude. So I took a listen. I liked it. I'm like, you know what? This sounds like not something I would play, but it sounds like it's Octane or Liquid Metal material.
Chasing Yesterday is a Houston-based new metal band formed by Rudy Amaro and Donovan Fall.
Yeah,
the music is a mixture of crushing guitars, groove-centric drums.
They're not famous.
Heavy breakdowns and aggressive melodic vocals.
Maybe they're locally famous and they're not being played on Sirius XM. So I took a listen and I responded to their tweet. And they were super amped about it. And I said, hey, guys, I happen to be doing my turbo shift. So I'm like, hey, guys, I'm going to shout you out tonight at 7:30.
Oh, but you weren't playing their music?
No, not at all.
Oh, my bad.
So, hey, man, I'm shouting out Wes in Idaho, Mercer Man in Pittsburgh. What's up? Mark in Colorado. Thanks for rocking out. Funky Monkey, I see you. And Chasing Yesterday, a band from Houston. They're rocking out to turbo. They're living their dream. Keep kicking it. Keep killing it, guys. Appreciate it. Here's Disturbed on turbo. And they were like, fuck yeah, bro. They loved it. So they came back and they hit me with like a Covino.
No, you reposted it. See, I don't know the rock scene, so I thought this might be like a known band, so that changes my feelings.
Oh, okay.
Like I thought they were like a popular band on Turbo or Octane or one of those. They're an up-and-coming band, but Chasing Yesterday, like it's almost like they did a liner where they're like, 1, 2, 3, yo, what's up? We're rocking out, Covino, and I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, you got it? Yeah.
Here you go. Like, yeah, they're cool.
Yeah,
cool.
Steve
Says thank you for jamming our song, Steve Covino. But I jammed it in
In your ass.
in my fucking man socks in my living room.
Yeah.
So that was the story there. But Rich got it.
That's it. I got a kick out of it. I was like,
out of that.
because they're a bunch of like total metal looking dudes that are like, Steve Covino.
However, if you want to talk about real bands, I do get a kick out of just listening to Turbo and then hearing like, hey, it's David Draymond from Disturbed. You're listening to Covino. I love station IDs. I love that.
Do you remember
shit.
your first one?
No, but
That remember everything.
I don't.
You remember everything.
My first one?
You keep your name tags and paychecks from Bennigan's, but you don't remember the first time.
I got every pay stub from every job I had.
Covino. By the way,
Every first pay stub.
Throw that out.
Every first.
That baffles me because Covino's the type of guy that was dying to get on the air so bad that you don't remember the first time where they put your name in the liners. Like, yeah, throw Covino in there. Hey, it's
Brett
Stone.
from Shinedown.
It's Stone Sour, and you're listening to Covino. Like,
Yeah,
you
no,
don't
I
remember
don't.
even like that. Like that.
My first, I don't know.
I remember.
But I love it as a fan, because not only are we hosts, we're fans. I'm a super fan. When I hear like, hey, it's Brandon Boyd from Incubus, and you're listening to my guy Covino, I'm like, fuck yes, I love that.
Let's take it back for 1 second because when you first come up in radio, now, depending on what you do for a living, there are the signs that you, quote, made it, or the signs that like, oh, dude, I'm making it happen. Like it could be, you know what it could be? It could be, oh, dude, I was invited to the National Sales Conference. You know who they invite to that? Only like the top tier sales guys. Oh, dude, so the boss usually only invites like 10 people to this golf outing, and I'm one of them. Like there's going to be a sign that like you're the guy. When you're added to the list, meaning the list of, hey, fucking Britney Spears came to the radio station. When they add to the list, hey, it's Britney Spears and you're listening to Rich Davis. Like when you're on the list, the liner list.
For sure.
It is that or Covino when you're on the station website back in the day.
Yeah.
Like
Your
like
profile.
on air.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve
For
Covino.
us personally, for me personally, seeing my name on the same schedule as Howard Stearns and Kane and Cabby and Altar Boy and Booker and
those
just
are the
being,
big
I have
moments.
those. Yeah, I kept those.
I remember those things like
They
we had
meant a lot.
like Jingle Ball.
Yeah.
When my picture was in like the program, I was like, like I'm in the fucking
when
program.
I worked at K-Rock, New York, there was no one giving me a station ID. I can tell you that. So my first station ID
Was probably at Sirius?
was at Sirius
Oh,
XM,
wow.
and it was probably like Shinedown or something, to be honest. And I'll take it. Speaking of Shinedown, I posted a cool little piece of memorabilia today on my Instagram story that Jose gave my daughter. He's like, "Hey, Melody, brother. I mean, Melody.
Sister.
I mean, Melanie. I mean, Melody, brother. Do you like Shinedown?" Melody's like, "Yeah, she loves Second Chance."
Yeah.
Which isn't one of my
Sometimes
favorites.
goodbye is a
Yeah,
second
I'm more of a
chance.
fly from the inside and fly from the outside kind of guy.
That's probably their most popular mainstream song, though, right? Probably Second Chance
Yeah, she likes that one. I would say that's one of them for sure.
from Jacksonville.
And he's like, "Do you want?" He gave her a drum head autographed by Shinedown.
That's cool.
Yeah, super cool because they're
No
a big
doubt.
band. I think it's probably like a Shinedown type of band. It was first like, "Hey, it's Brent. Hey, it's whatever," and you're listening to Covino on Octane. I'm sure it was some shit like that.
Yeah, I remember mine.
But they are the signs that you made it, and every career has their own.
Yeah. I'm surprised you don't remember exactly because even
don't.
me, who doesn't care about those things, I
Yeah.
remember when I was at Hot 107.9 in Syracuse, it was like, yo, this is Brian McKnight, and you're hanging with Rich the Bull.
I knew that
On
'cause
Hot 107.9.
You told me that before.
I was like, Brian McKnight.
Yeah.
So when I met him like years later, I'm like, yo, this means nothing to you. But when I was an up-and-comer in radio, you were the first person to do one of those station IDs. He's like, yo, that's cool. Yeah,
Means you were making
didn't we
it.
have Brian McKnight on our show?
yeah.
At the LA studio when we first moved out here.
Yeah, Brian
Right?
McKnight,
Yeah.
for sure. I'm trying to think. I mean, I was thrilled to have a regular station ID with my name on it at K-Rock New York, where it's like Covino on 92.3 K-Rock.
Yeah.
I played that shit like way more than I was supposed to.
I know it's easy. Nowadays,
Steve, I had one that was like El Covino on K-Rock.
Yo,
But I never had an artist, I don't think, say my name because I wasn't on that list
Yeah.
of shout outs.
I'm more amazed and flattered, even to this day. Like when we filled in for Gottlieb on Fox.
Oh, they
I know
did
it's
a
so,
great
I know
job.
it's so easy for them to do. Because truthfully, like the tools and the production.
Here they are.
Yeah, the tools and the production and editing is way easier now than it used to be.
Yeah.
But simply the fact that they'd be like, the Doug Gottlieb show, and now filling in special guests, Covino and Rich. Take it away, guys.
Rich and I sit there like in surprise.
I was like, whoa,
oh, cool. All right.
cool.
Hey, that's us. All right. Because we hadn't heard that until right then and there.
Damn.
But anyway, those are signs in our career and what we do that you made it.
Kevin Bush brings up a good point. Every job is different. What about when you get your nameplate for a cubicle or an office?
I was thinking that exactly. Yeah.
Boom,
so
right there.
It's going to be different for everybody.
But yeah, in radio, it's getting your name said by the artist is sort of like I never was in the music side of things, but I think one that in the entertainment
Platinum
industry,
Records.
yeah, when Mikey Piff or some of those guys, or like Jeff Regan or Jose, I bet you when they got their first like
Platinum record.
platinum record to put on their office
Fuck
wall,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I only got 2 ever. Lenny Kravitz and a Perfect Circle. But again, Rich and I didn't work like
On the record side, of
on the
things.
record side of things. We were just hosts, and by the time we were thriving, like giving those to the hosts was no longer a thing. So anyway,
Oh, I had one last thought before. we got out of here.
that band shouted me out like on
like
on
'em.
social media, and Rich got a laugh out of it.
I thought
And
it
I
was
thought it was
fucking
cool.
great. I thought it was great. One last thought before we get out of here today. And that thought is the whole idea of when you tell someone what to do.
Like my dad, get a haircut. Yeah, now I'm not gonna get a haircut.
Society has, for the most part, the Covino response. When I say the Covino response, I don't mean just you. I mean your dad too. The world is full of a lot of Steve Covino types. And I say Steve Covino, I mean your dad and you. Hey, Big Steve, you should get a haircut. Now I'm not getting a haircut. Hey, Covino, do a Mike Tyson impression. Oh, I'm not your fucking monkey. No way.
No can do.
You're the type that if you tell
Because
someone,
if it's not spontaneous, then it's not real to me. Like it's not. It throws me off.
you won't do something if someone asks. You'll only do it if you want to do it. Yo, Covino, do that impression. Nah, dude, bro, I only do it when I feel like doing it. Okay, fine. It made me think yesterday, or actually 2 days ago.
Chasing yesterday, bro.
I was chasing yesterday. What's up, bro? Rich Davis. Do I get one?
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
Mercer brings up a good point too. Business cards for a new job. Back in the day when business cards mattered, it was like, oh fuck, a business card.
Made it.
I know,
Made it.
What's
I
this?
love a
What's
good
this on my
business card.
desk? Oh, my own business
I
cards.
love a good
Ooh.
business card.
Your mom said she has to tell your dad the opposite of what she really wants him to do because he's that stubborn.
Don't get a haircut, Steven. I love it this way.
Well, then I'm going to the barbershop right now.
Hey, well, now, if you attention, now I'm getting a haircut.
Your mom wants pizza, so she'll be like, you know what I'm sick of? Johnny Napkins. Well, I'm going to go get Johnny Napkins. Yeah. So,
But
I bring this up.
That's human nature in a lot of ways.
Yeah, for a lot of people. I mean, some people are people pleasers, some people are resistors, right? And I think more resistors.
It's stubborn.
I brought
is
this
what
up
it is.
yesterday, and I wonder, they're two different stories, and it has to do with fan bases of teams. The Buffalo Bills fans are throwing sex toys on the field. Now, they're done with their home games, unless, of course, they win and Cincinnati wins. And then I believe they would host the championship game. Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Are they the 3 seed, right? Am I wrong? Hold on, let me take a look-see. But as of right now, the Buffalo Bills have no more home games. Yeah, they're the 3 seed. So they would if Buffalo and Cincinnati both won this weekend, the championship game would be in Buffalo. But Buffalo, they don't have a home game until next year. However, the Buffalo fans, the Bills Mafia, some of the most badass fans in sports, are throwing dildos on the field. Butt plugs, dildos, sex toys, whatever they get. It became the joke. Sort of like how
it's that Rick the Vato.
Yeah. It's sort of like how in hockey, one of the teams, remember they used to throw like an octopus on the ice. You can't tell the fans, because here's the reverse psychology. If you now tell the fans, if
Jason Brown throws fuzzy socks. I don't know if you knew that.
If you tell the fans, we'd really appreciate it if the fans did not throw sex toys on the field. All that'll get the fans to do, in my opinion,
More sex toys.
is to throw more sex toys.
Truth.
So, if you're a Bills official, do you just let it be? Because I feel like if the Bills release a statement like, hey, fans, in the nature of
If
good...
you want anything, like it's a lesson you learned at an early age in kindergarten. You want something to go away, ignore it.
It's a nickname.
It's the nickname
If you're
theory.
like, hey, you're Stinky Steve.
Stinky Steve.
If you just let it be, it would go away. But if you were like, listen, everyone, do not call me Stinky Steve.
That makes people want to fucking...
Everyone looks at each other like, Stinky Steve.
Now you're Stinky Steve. It's the same thinking. Unfortunately, we're adults, and if they're like, all right, everyone, like you said, they made an announcement, no more sex toys on the field, man, you're going to get fucking so much more because you realize, okay, it bothers everybody. Now I have to do it.
On Fox last night, you talked about how they were throwing toys on the field, and your mom genuinely said she thought you meant like board games.
Yeah, My Pet Monster.
Yeah,
That's what happened.
Yeah. So
It was a Cabbage Patch doll from 82.
I'm just saying, to go with the big Steve theory and the little Steve, the baby Steve theory, if you tell someone to do something, they're not going to do it. In fact, it might instigate them to do the opposite. So if you
Does that work with like telling your kid to clean their room and shit like that? I mean, I don't have those issues, but I'm wondering if it works the same way.
I think so. If telling your kid to clean their room,
Yeah.
is like the opposite. Yeah. It's you tell the fans from Buffalo, don't throw sex toys next week. If they were playing another home game, which the season's over, they would be like, they said no sex toys? Oh, I'm going to throw butt plugs on the field.
And the other example that we gave last night, foxsportsradio.com, it's, with Atlanta. The more you tell them to fucking not do the which is not even their own thing, they're going to do it.
The tomahawk chop.
Tomahawk chop. They're going to continue to
if
do
you're
it.
trying to get the Atlanta Braves to stop doing the tomahawk
Just don't
chop.
acknowledge it.
Yeah, but I feel like the Major League Baseball, I promise you, next year, they're going to try very hard to somehow try to ban the tomahawk chop. And I'm telling you, if you think you're going to get 40,000 people to stop doing the tomahawk chop, saying it's racist and this and that, no way on earth are you going to get drunk fans to be like, you know what, the organization's right, let's stop doing it. If you think people are better and good people, you see the people taunting Patrick Mahomes' brother on the sidelines?
Yeah.
It's like, a lot of times you're like, yo, guys, people aren't really that bad. There's people calling him all these sexist names, and it's like, these people go to a game and publicly out loud say things where you're like, wow, people do say fucking rude things. So
It wasn't me, Bill Jackson, just so you know.
yeah.
But I do want to say congratulations again to my guy, Downtown Jason Brown. I screenshot him
Look at
as
that.
the reminder. I even wrote it down here. Real big. Congrats to Jason Brown.
All right. Well,
Thank you guys. Wait, hold on. I had a few shout outs to
oh
give.
yeah, give the shouts.
A few shout outs. I want to pull up the Patreon, give some shout outs to Kevin Calise, John Wells, Key Collector Comics, T. Harper, Scott Stachowski. What's up, Scott?
Scotty.
Steven Silvas, Daryl Gord, Aaron, Thomas Kane, Farmer B, Rich Pierce, Cameron Walter, and Devin DeCock. What a name.
What a name.
Meet Mr. and Mrs. DeCock, everybody.
DeCock.
Thank you. Thank you for your subscriptions, for being here with us. Even if we disagree on certain things, let's agree to disagree.
Yeah.
That's what makes it fun. We're Covino and Rich on social media. Again, foxsportsradio.com to hear what we had to say about all the games this past weekend and the upcoming games. And remember to enjoy your game tonight. There's really no rando news, right?
No,
Other than Yellow Jackets
And
ended last night.
Kanye West was crying about not being invited to his kid's
And then
birthday
he was
party.
there.
And then he was there, right?
And then he was there anyway.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of rando news. Trump's going to be president again. We already established that.
That'll happen.
And then your Monday night game tonight. Cardinals at the Rams, and we'll talk about it tomorrow.
All right. Until then, arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Enjoy your day.
Happy Martin Luther King Day.